Okay, good. Come here. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna put the sugar in there. You just put the packets of Kool-Aid in there and you stir it up. Where's my curd?
Dominique, are we muted?
We're muted. God,
What's up, Dominique?
how unprofessional of me. You know, I try. I gotta do better. You know,
I
see,
heard you in the back saying, "Go get this and go get this and go get this." I said,
did
"Oh,
you
yeah," because I had pulled you up in the show, and I said, "Oh, she is getting on Sean Case."
listen? I was telling him to get something because, child, he has gotten a fascination with mixing Kool-Aid and salsa water together.
Oh, what does that taste like?
It's like a soda without him actually
Oh,
having a soda. So,
oh,
and I'm on board with that.
okay.
Yeah, but it is a Thursday night, and how are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good. Welcome to another Thursday night of Beyond the Filter. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Share the live, like the live, tell a friend, bring a friend. We got a very interesting interview today that I've been wanting to do for a minute, and we have her here. But girl, I'm so tired because I'm still on Bangkok time, Thailand. Let me tell you how
Banging cock
banging cock. Let
or
me tell
banging
you how
cock?
gruesome that flight was. The first flight is to um on the way back is to South Korea. That's a 5.5 hour flight. I get off of that flight and I have an 8 hour layover. After the 8 hour layover, I have a 13-hour flight. Girl, let me tell you
Oh
something.
my
That is so
God.
much traveling, and I am so fucking tired. But you know, we
Did
have
you
shit to do.
sleep or were you awake the entire
Not
flight?
the entire flight. My friend of mine gave me, Keishana from Memphis gave me a sleeping pill she bought out of the airport when she was traveling,
Mm-hmm.
and that pill kind of really did put me down. Like on,
Mm-hmm.
but I couldn't like on the way there. Like I really slept well, but like coming back, I couldn't sleep as well as I would have liked to. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot. It's a lot. Hey Victor. Hey Roy Lovely Lady. Roy Lovely Lady, didn't you just win a pageant? Tell me about it. Hey
I
Ursula.
think so. I think so.
Tuada Kamaya, how are you, baby? What's up, Ace? Ace, thank you for always going live when something going on in Texas. You keep us updated with the pageantry and stuff. Really, really appreciate that. Hey Andrea Belair, JR. JR. Y'all, JR. Junior L, Junior EL, at
Hey,
Universe.
Ursula.
Tilted my head
Oh,
back and put some THC drops in my mouth. And I
who
was
did
so
that? Who did
Junior,
that?
Junior
Mm,
L, right there. And
really?
at the end of the night, I couldn't realize why I was so fucking high. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I remember it was the fucking drops. Hi, Running Miranda.
That stuff drives. Somebody gave me some. Is it those drinks that they put the stuff in?
Hey, Mr. North America Supreme, Miss Punk News Network is in the house. How are you? They was just taking some time. What's up,
Or
Will?
say hi to the people.
Yeah. What's up, Joshua?
See, you know everybody.
You do too.
No, see, see. Listen. See, you don't understand what a journey this is for me,
Hey,
because
Genesis.
I am finally getting the opportunity to connect with people that I've never really had the opportunity to connect with before, and it's really exciting. It's
Yeah,
really
like more on the
exciting.
nigger side,
I
right?
am loving. Well, that's not how I will put it, but it's really that is not nigga. That's not how I would put it. But I just
Hey, Lissa.
it's
What's up, Lissa?
but deal. Thank you, baby. I'm gonna go back there and tickle the ivories in a little bit.
Is that a
But
baby
it's just
green?
really
Oh, that's a regular
yes,
green.
yes, it is. So I had to come home. I had been on the beach front for a long time, so I had to
You
come
had
onto
been
the
on the.
house.
Hey, Tony Monique. You had been on the beachfront for a minute. I said, when is she coming off a vacation?
Honey, listen, I
When?
had to because listen. So last Wednesday, we're in a
Mhm.
senior staff meeting, and I see my COO's like, okay, the new budget is about to be implemented. but we've got some money that we need to get rid of
Oh,
by
and
the end of
I'm
this
always
by the
accepting
end of
money that
this
people want to get
month.
rid of.
Child, listen. And so she tells Katie, she says, Katie, I need you to spend 20. She tells Stephanie, I need you to spend 20. Then she goes to Tony. She says, Tony, I need you to spend about 10. And then she looks at me and she says, I need you to spend 200,000.
God
Oh
damn.
my
Tony,
God.
send some of that
I was
money
like, I've
here.
got to, sir. Well, listen. I can't.
Baby.
Well, first of all, I don't think the jail life is for me. Let
Right.
that be said. But especially this is federal money. So, child, I'm definitely not trying to get no federal time. But Lord, let me tell you. So that's all I've been doing. We just been processing people to pay their rent all week long.
Oh, I love that
30 to
though.
40 people every day.
Every day.
And I'm sick of looking at folks.
God
I'm
damn.
sick of looking at people, but I love the work, right? Because there's
Yeah.
a major housing crisis in America.
Right. Right.
Not enough supply for the demand. And people
Mm-hmm.
can't afford to live where they work, and so they're just having to live anywhere. And so, child, listen. But anyway, let's move on from that. But I'm excited about interviewing titties
Oh,
today.
titties.
Titties and
Tits.
tattoos.
Titties and
No,
tattoos.
we're gonna call her tits and tattoos. I'm
Tits and
excited
tats.
because
Tits.
it's
No,
just
tits and
really
tats.
tits and tats. That's what we're gonna call it.
Yeah.
Because it's just really good to finally get to meet my people for a change and get to
Yes.
know my people.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really good. Yeah.
Because we can relate to each other in our stories and our walks in life and stuff. Victor King said you and him have history, Dominique. What's that to you about? Hey, Envy Van Micah's,
We have
Anaya,
history.
Flame motherfucking Monroe.
Tom said,
He said y'all got listen.
let her send me my her
Hey, Biggs,
address.
what's up, Biggs? Biggs said he'll show you what to do with that goddamn money. Send, I know you will. It's tits and
Listen,
tats in this motherfucker. Hey, Diamond, Carroton,
let me
Cassadine,
tell you that we have done so
Dupree.
much.
Hey,
We have done
Morgan.
so
Hey,
much
daughter.
work in the last 4 years that I've worked there.
Mhm.
We've probably assisted people with over $45 million in housing assistance.
And you haven't embezzled any?
Bitch, listen. I am not. I'm not made for jail. Even though I would be a good solitary confinement person, because as long as I got books.
But Dominic, they'll love you because you shaped like a motherfucker, baby. You walk through there, they're gonna go up like somebody scored a touchdown in the football game if you walk through.
Honey, listen.
They gonna love you. Thank you, Diamond. Diamante.
No, Victor, I am not.
So
I'm not sure. You don't have to refresh my memory what our history is, Victor.
yeah, inbox her, Victor, but she can know.
Please do. I refresh my memory because, child, I've been. Oh, hey, Mr. Gay U.S. Survey.
Shout out to Smacks,
The one and only Smacks.
Yeah.
I saw the flaming in there.
The flame in there, baby.
But I'm excited about today. I really am.
Me too. He said check your DM, but I don't know what y'all got.
Baby. Honey, let's see if this gonna make my tits perk up, baby.
This is what you be doing.
Nothing came up yet, Victor. But let me tell you though, honey, for those of y'all who don't believe, baby, when I tell you those injections for weight loss work.
Really, girl?
Oh, well, send it over again.
Which one you on?
Come on with it. I'm on Monjero, and
okay.
So I've only been on it two months now,
hey,
and I've lost 30 pounds.
You did what and what?
And I've been on it for 2 months now, and I've lost 30 pounds.
Oh, babe, I'm going to Majero. Absolutely.
Child,
well, your neck all slim and stuff. Your face,
honey,
your décolleté and shit. Girl, I'm gonna call you
honey. So now the next thing I'm gonna do a series of chemical peels for my face.
I always want to do
acne. I had bad acne when I was a kid, so I've got like some acne scarring on my cheeks. They put me on a retinoid, but I'm not very patient when it comes to stuff like that. I just want to go in there. Y'all do what y'all gonna do. I want to peel like a snake. Like you get those peels where the skin is just.
I want to do
That's
that
what I
too,
want.
but I'm scared they're gonna burn my skin. But because I do have sensitive skin, so I don't know, like with the chemical peels, how far I can go with. I don't know, but I'm gonna look into that too, and I'm gonna look into Mounjaro. I got
Yes,
unbeaten.
definitely. I have not had any side effects with it at all.
Olivia, you need to take them your goddamn self.
Victor, resend them.
But
Come on with
anyway,
it now. But anyway, let's get to this because this young lady is waiting on us.
yes, she is. She's patiently waiting in the back, and she so graciously accepted our invitation to come on and tell her story because Danejah is a Cassadine, and I've been seeing Danejah for a while around and stuff. And I was just telling her, like, when we were just talking in the back, let me call it the green room. Hey, Trejima, I know her, but I don't know her. So this would be
Right.
an enlightenment for me too, because there's some areas that I don't know, even like she shared a person with me that I love dearly, Tanisha Cassadine, and I never even knew
Oh,
how their
wow.
relationship came about. I want to know some things. She's an amazing competitor in the pageantry world, who, in my opinion, I feel don't get her just due. But that's how it is sometimes in the pageantry world. Some people, they make work just a little
Mm-hmm.
harder than they make other people work.
Mm-hmm.
And what I don't know. Some people can just walk through the doors and get almost everything they want,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Some people have to like fall out of the ceiling. Some people have to shoot up the place, and I always want to know, is she misunderstood in this thing? Um, what is it about her that makes it so hard? Is it the last name? Is it grudges? Did she take some bitch man, some bitch trans man, some bitch woman? The girls, beats it down, no,
But a lot of times it don't have to be anything.
really.
Sometimes all you have to do is be a threat.
Hey, my queen.
Sometimes when you are a threat, people will try to suppress you in any way that they can, or they
Wow.
try to break you in any way that they can. Because let's be clear. A
Let's
lot of
be.
people in this, a lot of people within this community are kind of like the white people that are running the country. They don't want to lose power. They don't want to
Ooh,
lose the authority. They don't want to lose the limelight. And so anybody that they think that could possibly take over that limelight, they're going to try to stop that person, because you don't fit into their circles, or you don't fit into
yeah.
their box, or you're not marching to the beat of their drum.
Mhm.
I have seen it happen. I have
Wow.
witnessed it happen to where you, just like you were saying, you sit back and you just go, no, that ain't making no sense to me.
Right.
I'm not
And
making
I
no
and
that
and
I'm not buying that. And so you get to the conclusion to where you say it has to be systemic, just like there's systemic racism.
uh-huh.
There's some systemic shit going on within our community, and
And we
let's
do
be
it to each other?
honest.
We do it to each
You
other, though?
Are you fucking kidding me? We'll do it to each other before we'll do it to anybody else.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? You knew that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I did.
Have
Yeah,
you
I did.
have you listen,
Yeah, I did.
listen.
I've
Have you
been
never
very vocal.
Yeah, because have you never worked in a space
Uh-huh.
where there's like a black supervisor, a black manager, and there's someone that's black also, that's one of the most exceptional employees
Mhm.
that could be in wherever it is that you work, but they won't promote that person, but
Mm-mm.
they'll promote any white bitch that come through there. And then look, then they want to use the excuse, well, I just didn't want them to think that I was showing fake. No, You just didn't want me to do it because you thought I was going to outshine you. That's what you thought.
That's it.
That's what you didn't want to happen.
Why are we
You
so
didn't
afraid of
want
each
enough.
other?
Because listen, we're great people. We're
Mm-hmm.
innovative we're innovative in the way that we think. We're very creative in the way that we do things. We approach work in a way that no other race of people do, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
when you know, and in knowing that, right,
yeah.
you're not gonna want to get another bitch that can think on the same level as you, or that
Mm-hmm.
may outthink you, or be more creative than you, because by design we're
Mm-hmm.
brilliant and magnificent people.
You
We're
better say that.
workhorses to a fault. You know what I'm saying? People
Yeah.
use us for our minds. That's why they get us to, come up with all these new fashion ideas, and they've stealing from our culture, because we are something to be copied. Let's be clear.
We are, because let me tell you something, Dominique. And I always tell people anything, like I hate Twitter sometimes. I be like Twitter, because if we make something popular, they automatically make it super expensive. Like motherfuckers charging us all this money for
Mhm.
shit chitlins. You know, you remember that shit? That shit used to be $5 a book, and now they act like that shit is a delicacy. Like, and it's only because we love it so much, and we say how amazing it is. Oxtails done all but tripled in price because we make a big deal about anything that we love, and we can take the scraps and make it the most
Mhm.
amazing thing in the world, and then now they get a hold to it, and and now it's the most expensive shit in the goddamn world. Diamond, I had
Yeah.
scriptures for them yesterday, Diamond. I had
You,
scriptures.
you sure did. But once again, our creativity. They thought they were doing something to harm us when they would kill the pigs, take the best of the pig, give that to their household, and say, "Here, y'all can have that." We turned that into a meal that has
Baby, they clean
become
that
a.
shit.
Do
They
you
clean
do
that
you
shit out of their
hear
chitlins,
me?
like these bottoms clean that shit out of their ass, and they shot water through it, got that shit clean. Now
Tell.
added some onion and all this shit, and now it's the best shit ever. You ask Tamika X. Tamika X would fuck up. I hope she watch it. Tamika X would fuck up some chitlins. She'd be everywhere fucking them things up. She went to the Money restaurant, and she had a whole motherfucking chafing pan full of them motherfuckers. I said, wait a minute, now Tamika, you can't eat all that pork.
Honey, don't ever doubt Miss X. But look, it's 24 minutes after the start time. We better
And we've
bring
been
this
talking
girl
our
in
ass
before
off.
she
We got
go
this girl
to
weighing.
bed.
Right, Diamond, lamb
She
chops,
said she
seafood, boy,
was
all this
tired.
shit too expensive now. But without further ado, y'all, I want y'all to give her a warm welcome. I want y'all to send like this energy towards the screen to this young lady, because I got a feeling that um, this is going to be really good. I got a feeling it's going to be
Mhm.
great, and she's a no holds bars person. She's real, and that's one thing we pride ourselves on, is talking to people that's real, who have real lives, who go through real things. Shit ain't a facade. So I ain't gonna hold you up no longer. Danejah, Bonet, Braxton, Dupree, St. James, um, the House of West, Tishi, Cassadine.
Thanks for joining us, tits and tats.
Oh gosh. Hello.
How you doing,
How are
Danejah?
you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm here.
Hey, yeah, baby, we we there with you. We there with you. But thank you so
Mhm.
much for agreeing to do
Yes,
this
please.
interview with
Thank
us,
you,
and
thank you, thank you.
let us delve a little deeper into your life,
Mhm.
tell your story through your lenses and the things that you've been through, the things that you've endured. Um, Start out by telling us something about you.
So I am.
Really, where you from? Where you
I'm
from?
originally from Charleston, South Carolina. I am biracial. My mother is white. My father is black. I'll be 35 at 12 o'clock, so I'm a Scorpio. Um, yeah. So Life has been life for me. I tell people all the time, I feel like I lived the life of a Lifetime movie.
Mm.
But I tell people all the time that, you know, only the strong survive. So
Mhm. So how would you describe yourself if someone were to say we're going to put a picture of you in a dictionary, a people's dictionary, and we want you to give us a description of Danejah, what would that description include?
Mm. I like that.
um well, my good Judy Terry would say Mother Teresa. He always called me Mother Teresa, but um I would say that I'm just a person that believes in persevering and just keeping it pushing. Um, you just got to know how to, you know, duck and dodge and keep it going.
And and feel free to use your real voice if you want to.
This is my real voice, motherfucker.
Oh, because I know. Listen, I know when the girls be trying to be extra
This
fit.
this is my call voice. Hello, what you trying
Oh,
to do for
okay.
me? How much you got for me? You ready? Okay, me too. I'm gonna drop you the location. Send me ETA. Okay? Yeah.
Oh,
See
okay.
the difference? Yeah.
You
Yes.
see, I spotted the difference. I spotted the difference.
Yeah. I'm saying
Don't
I want you
come
to be comfortable. I
fucking with
know.
me. It's too early.
Well, no, I know when the girls be trying to elevate their voices and stuff. Sometimes they can't really get into the depth of what they're trying to say because they concentrating on trying to be a
Oh my
soprano.
goodness.
Baby, ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay.
You gonna get it or you not. I mean, the voice ain't never stopped them from doing nothing else.
So, Danejah,
Uh-huh.
um, I know I've been seeing you for the last maybe. I met you through Tanisha.
hmm
I never knew how y'all came about.
So
Tell me that story, how y'all came about.
it's quite interesting. So what happened? Because a lot of people tried to figure out the whole Cassadine dynamic.
Yeah.
Um,
They
my
traced down.
original lineage or parents were Chicago folks. I was a Valentino first. I was Danejah Valentino. Lakil, Love Dupree was my first father. He's from Chicago. His dad is, um, and then my first gay mother was Tiffany Monet, out of
Mhm.
Chicago. She passed away. Um, I went through different parents at that point, trying to figure out who's who and what's what. And as you grow and you learn, you realize that certain people's visions and certain people things don't just align with you, or your personalities don't mesh well. Um,
Mhm.
at that point, I moved to Atlanta. Me and my sister Desire at the time, we met Blush. We went to Blush House to
Which is the
fix
age of
one of her give
Cassadine,
up
right?
fix one of her give up gowns or something like that. She was getting ready for. We walked in, the dress was hanging up. We started talking, um, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make y'all my daughters." And I'm like, "Well, no, because I don't really think I like you too sporty." But we we started to gain a relationship. Blush was my mother first, along just like kind of you had a mother, and then I think that when me and Blush stopped speaking and we fell out that last time, and it was a really really big fallout. Me and Cassadine called and said, "Hey, come down here to Florida." And I'm like, "Well, girl," she's like, "I'm getting ready for the pageant, and I want you to come down here." So me being me, I'm like, "Oh my God, okay, well, Tanisha want me to come down here," so I went. Um, and that's when she was staying with Michael and Crystal, and Ashton was there. That's how Ashton became my father as well. um I went down and I started helping her get ready for Universe. I remember sitting in there, her trying on the dresses and calling you every 5 minutes asking you for your opinion. I was like, why is everybody running everything past Trent? Like, what the fuck? Like, bitch, you to me, what you running everything past Trent for? Then I got into the relationship and the aspect of who you were. um
Mhm.
But as the relationship grew, it was something I never had experienced before. And I tell people all the time that for the first time in my life, I understood what unconditional love was. She didn't
Same.
want me
Mhm.
for what I had. I didn't want her for her drag. And I think that was different because I never asked her to use her things. I never wanted to wear her things. If anything, Cass and I wore my drag.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first, met, so the dynamic was totally different. I met with the warnings of, oh, be careful, because they just want to use you and this, that, and the third, and blah 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 and all of this stuff. And I was like, she showed me how I knew I wanted to be treated and loved.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And so that's why it changed my life. That's why I'm so diehard on the Cassadine name. That's why, you know, that that link is so strong, because throughout the parents that I've had, I think it's always been more of a, what can you do? What do you have to
Very
offer?
transactional.
Very
Mm-hmm.
transactional. And I never felt like that with her. Cassadine pushed me to do things that I didn't want to do, because when we met, I was still, you know, fresh out being wanted, because I was most wanted on the news twice. But um, she made me drive, and I was always afraid to drive because I had anxiety, because I was always scared to get pulled over by the police, because that means I'm gonna go to jail. Um, she pushed me to do things, even in pageantry, like the fire that's lit and the things and the way in which I compete. And the reason why I go hard now is because of the things that she instilled in me. So once me and Blush fell out, Blush was like, oh, da da da, and Cassadine was like, fuck her, you a Cassadine, you mine. And then that's when the relationship from grandmother to mother started. So that's why, if you realize, some people call me sister, some people call me niece, because that was our relationship. Like, it was ours. Like, some people didn't know the dynamic, some people did. Um, and after she passed, I tried to make things work with Blush, but we just didn't.
And we'll get into why you and Blush came in, because was it we'll get into why y'all couldn't see eye to eye. You said something very important that I resonate with you with, because you said that's the first time you felt unconditional love. Okay, growing up as an interracial child in an interracial household, how was that for you growing up?
It was weird because I saw things from so many different sides.
Hmm.
My mother being from Ohio and her family being extremely racist, my mom's family stopped talking to her because she had black children. Um,
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
and so growing up, that was a thing. And then
Did
when
you
you
ever hear them say the
also,
N word?
hmm,
Did you ever hear them say the N word?
mm-mm,
Okay.
not to me at least. But
Okay.
I'm gonna actually tell you. So I stopped talking to my mom's side of the family about maybe 12, 13 years ago, and it was because of a situation like that. So what happened was, we were there visiting, and we went I went to go see my mother's two fully white children, her children.
Okay.
Um
Well,
and when I
you
went
don't
to
look
go
at them
see
as your
them,
siblings.
when I went to go see her children,
Okay.
um they told us about all the things that my mom's sister was saying. Oh, well, who gonna let the niggas sleep in their bed, and all this, that, and the third. And for me, I thought that this was the accepting side, because I knew what I was going through with my sexuality on the black side. Being from Charleston, my grandmother was the mother of the church. She took all my granddaddy drug money and built three churches. They
Mm.
they are very heavy in church over here. I grew up in church. So this, my mother's side, was the play with the tarot cards and want to talk to the dead, and they're white. They over here. So it was so many different cultural differences that you're almost in a battlefield of, which way to go, because this side is saying this side is saying this side is saying this wrong, this side is saying this is right, but they don't even like each other. So
Mm-hmm.
um when that happened, I spazzed out. I went back to my mama's sister's house and said, well, bitch, what did y'all say? And I told my mama what they were saying, and I was like, and this supposed to be your family, I'm your child, you should never allow them to talk about your children like that, and blah blah blah. It was a big old thing. They act like they wanted to fight. They put me out the house, so I took a bottle of gasoline and put it around the whole house. And um, that's neither here nor there.
Oh my
I then went back to, Charleston, and I've never talked to them ever since. Till this day, there's been a lot of apologies, but I hold grudges. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't matured that big in my life to let certain things go. You making me mad
Mm-hmm.
is one thing, but you hurt my feelings. when I love you is another. I could get over being mad, but I don't like my feelings being hurt. So once you hurt my feelings, we good.
And so does that come from your upbringing because you dealt with so much stuff between them or disappointment between them that now when people disappoint you, you automatically hold the grudge? You think it comes to
Once
that?
I'm disappointed, I'm gone. Because like I
Wow.
said, my mother had a husband. My father was over here. Me and my dad didn't see the eye. Me and my dad didn't start talking until about 6 years ago when he was diagnosed with cancer. They gave him a week to live. And even though he could not stand me, we have fought. He's called me a faggot, a punk, a this, that, and the third. They
Yeah.
snatched my hair. Like a lot of different things. Going in, putting EVOO, praying all in my ears and my mouth, and my family jumping me and snatching off all of my hair, all of that stuff. I stopped what I was doing and I moved back to Charleston to take care of him. Because in that moment I was like, well, I'm his oldest child, and despite of how he's done me, I would rather be here in these last moments than to regret and feel bad for not giving what I know I could give, regardless of whether he liked me or not. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, no matter how anybody feels about you, it's what I give you that matters to me. Because at the end of the day, I have to still be real and true to myself. Because when it comes my time and I'm judged for my works, I want to say that I did right by you, no matter how you did it.
Mm. So did you feel like you owed him that?
As a parent, I feel like I owed you that because you still had, you brought me into this world. You were still a part of it, regardless of whether you were never there. Like, we never talked, like, because I was one of those kids that wanted to be in the house, and I watched him play football with the neighborhood boys and do all of this stuff and never really want to deal with me. He never really wanted to deal with me. But he loves my sister. So, that was a thing. But I felt like I owed him that regardless because he is my father. Now, granted, he's still living. We're now dealing with the same thing all over again. Here as of recently, the cancer has spread and come back and it's all over his body, and they're saying there's nothing he can do, whatever. But he's still here, so.
Are y'all in a good place though now?
And that's 6 years later, so.
Yeah. Where are y'all at as far as relationship wise?
He called me when he wants something. Everybody call me when they want some money. He always comes, hey Dusty, man, baby, you let me get some money. I don't got no money, Daddy. Yeah, you got money. I know you got some motherfucking money. I don't got no money.
So going there in that moment and knowing what the past relationship was, how did you prepare yourself mentally? Being in that, and I know you said that you felt that since that was your father, you felt that it was a sense of duty for you to do that. But how did you protect your own mental well-being, being in that space, knowing that was the history?
The craziest thing is I didn't, but I had to after I got there, because the first thing I did when I finally I was leaving. The first year I did Continental Plus, it was Cheyenne's Give Up. This is when this happened, so this is how long ago. They called me as I'm in the airport flying back home to tell me about what happened. So I leave, I go home, and as soon as I get to the hospital to go see him, he opens his eyes and he looks at me in the look of disgust and said, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And in my mind, I said, bitch, I literally have just dropped my life to come here. But in that moment, I felt like I'm being tested. Like, okay, God, whatever this is, I'm going to still see it through, because ultimately the responsibility is still there. I'm his eldest child. So regardless of whatever, there's a lot of people that don't have the mental capacity. I know that my sisters, my grandmother, and all of these people do not have the mental or emotional to deal with what may come if he decides to leave this earth. Do what was necessary.
So forgiveness is inside of you, because I mean, I'm telling you, what you did, that took a lot. because you put yourself aside to do what was right by somebody else that had did you wrong. So that really shows what a loving and forgiving person you really are. But trust me, I totally get, when you have your defenses up because you never know if people have good intentions as it relates to you. And so I do want to ask, and so as you're navigating through life, personally and even in the pageantry world, do you feel that sometimes that, what is this person trying to get out of me? Do they really have my best interest at heart?
So I feel like that about a lot of things, but I will say this, and a lot of my friends say I'm done for this, but I always tell people that I cannot again judge what your motives are. I can only
Mm-hmm.
judge what mine are. And regardless
Yeah.
of whether you're pure, whether you're good, I know that when you come to me, mine are. I know when I'm being used. I know when people are connecting themselves to me because they want drag or they want this or they want something stoned or they want access to certain things. But I also know that I have the resources, so I don't mind giving them. I don't mind
Okay.
helping because I got it to give. So, I mean, if I died today or tomorrow, I can't take none of this stuff with me. I can't so it's here to give. It's accessible. So I'm just willing to here you go. But I have started to become a little more guarded again because when I first came into the industry, a lot of people didn't know anything about me. They was like, "Oh, she rude. She don't speak." I was very observant. Like
And you
I'm
always
very,
had a mean mug on your face.
but that was because I didn't know nobody. And my thing is like, y'all didn't speak to me either.
But when you coming into a foreign place and when you coming into places,
And
a
I would
lot of
speak,
people
but nobody was welcoming to me either. And like it was very like, who is she? Because I did pop up out of nowhere. I
out of
popped up out of
nowhere
nowhere.
looking like
And
Shabana B is for Bobby Brooks.
and that was the thing. Like when I popped up, everybody thought I was Shavana at one point, and that created an issue. And now we're fine, thank you God. But
Yeah.
like that was it was just like I just came in and I had a love for drag, and it just so happened that I transitioned in the process of that as well. Um, and people just didn't understand it. People just was like, "Oh, where's she coming from?" And then she doing this and she doing that, and then I carried the last name, and there was a big question of, "Oh, how I'm this and how I'm that," and I'm like, "Well."
I remember when TANISHA passed, you called me and you talked about that with me. And I was like, listen, TANISHA loved you, carry the name, carry it with grace. And I tell you, I'm always proud of all of y'all who carry the last name because like I don't do pageants. I wouldn't be able to keep the name going for nothing in the world because I wouldn't dare spend that much money, get on stage and go from side to side and down the runway and for a bitch to tell me I'm the T. You know what I'm saying?
That yeah,
I
because
got
that
to
was a
keep it
very,
going.
very, very tough time because everybody was like, "Oh, who the fuck are you?" And what did it? And I was like, and you were one of the main reasons why I got through that time because of that conversation. And then I started to realize, you were the last product produced.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was the last product produced,
You were.
regardless of what anybody wants to say. I was the last. I got the last of it.
Yeah, you did. And um so when did you realize you was different growing up? Like when did you realize that hey, I like boys or I want to be a girl? I'm not like everybody else because like you said, now you're already dealing with like prejudice within your own family, right? Racism in a sense, or um so that's a lot to deal with within itself. So now there's this part of you, like you said, in the Black community, we are shunned so hard for being different and being gay. So when did you realize that?
So I realized things early on because I was never really comfortable. I was always uncomfortable. Like to be a boy, I literally it would take me so long to find clothes, to
Mhm.
find anything. Like I was always so uncomfortable, and I never knew what it was. Like I just was uncomfortable. Like I would always walk around like this until the bullying started, and then I was like, okay, bitch, this ain't for me. Like I don't know who y'all think y'all playing with, but I'm sick of it now, and that something clicked, and then I started attacking people, and then that was that from that. But I didn't really start feeling comfortable dressing like a girl until at 16. Well, at 14, I ran away, and I started dressing like a girl.
At 14.
At 14, I ran away. I left out of my mother's house at 15, so I've been on my own. I had my own house that I was renting and paying rent in at 16, and I had gay kids that were 34 that I was helping put through college.
What?
You got to make that make sense.
Say it one more time, because I do want it to make sense. Say that again.
So, like, one of my second gay child at that point in time, because I hadn't been introduced to the lifestyle at this point, I had an ID to say I was 21 at 15. So I was going to the clubs and all of that stuff, meeting kids, and I had gay kids in Charleston. I had done moved out my mom's house because I was like, okay, well, I'm not dealing with this no more. My mom had an abusive husband, so when he got drunk, he beat our ass, he beat everybody else's ass in the house, and then he would tear up everything. He put bleach in the food, dish detergent, put his foot through the TV, put his foot.
Was he a drunk? Was he an alcoholic or a drug user?
He was an alcoholic. So when he got drunk, he tore all our ass up and the house.
Wow.
So I was tired of that too.
How long did this last?
Well, he was with my mother most of my life. So.
Oh.
Wow.
So dealing with sexual abuse, physical abuse, and mental abuse was a big thing. So that's why I tell people all the time, like, I fought very hard to get where I am now. So when I say that I have a certain level of peace, I have a certain level of peace because I can't allow anyone or anything to take me back there, because once I get back there, I'm there.
So how did you obtain this peace?
Through life lessons, and as I navigated through life, I realized that I didn't want to be like that. I wanted to be the person that broke the generational curses of my family. I didn't want to be the bitter. I didn't want to be the one that didn't know what real love was and was just accepting of anything, or being in emotionally unstable relationships or physical abuse and dealing with that, because I had daddy issues, I had mama issues, I had all of these different things. So as a child, I was dating older men. I was 15 with a boyfriend that was 35. Had him picking me up from middle school. You know, I'm skipping school getting picked up.
What's his favorite artist? R. Kelly?
I don't know. At that point, I was, you know, so. And then because of that, like, I was even introduced to the prostitution side of life from a lover. He put me on to Craigslist because we were together, and he wanted to start having threesomes because he was a hoe. And he didn't know how to navigate telling me that. So he was like, let's have threesomes and this, that, and the third. And we started doing like little stuff and posting, and then I started making money, and then he started dressing me up and doing my, because he was a hairstylist, so he started doing my hair, doing hair shows, and that's how that level of it grew. And then once I wanted to transition, he was no longer sexually interested in me, but we stayed together we were together for 10 years until I moved to Atlanta. He moved with me, and then he ended up going his own way, and I went my own way, but
So what was your first experience like? So he says, okay, I'm going to put you on Craigslist. This is what we're going to do, make this money. What was that first encounter like, and how did you feel? This is your first go round.
I honestly didn't feel no way, because for me, because I grew up with insecurities, I'm going to be completely honest with you, sex was always power to me. And when people were thinking that they were getting over on me, oh, you so sexy, oh, you so this, and I know that these things were being said to get what they want, they don't know that I'm playing the game, because ultimately at the end of the day, I had intentions on fucking you anyway. So ultimately, you playing the game with me, not understanding, I already know the game, and I'm preying on you. So like, ultimately, I knew that I had the power. So sex was always power to me, because that was the moment I felt empowered, because I didn't have that self-love or self-worth in that moment. When I started to learn self-worth and self-love, um, was seriously when I started to transition, because I
Mhm.
knew that I had to transition in a way that would not put me in the position to feel how I've watched a lot of others feel. And I use Cassadine, for instance. Anybody who really knew her, as much as we thought she was the, to me, she was beautiful, she was real, she was all of these things. She looked like a woman to me. She didn't feel that way. And that made me realize that I can't be this. I have to love you enough to not become you in that aspect.
Mm.
And so I always would have this logic of icing a burnt cake. You ice a burnt cake, it's pretty on the outside, but it's still fucked up on the inside, so you still can't serve it. So you have to
I
take
like
all of
that.
Yeah.
these
I like that analogy.
ingredients, the good, bad, the ugly, the whatever, and put them in. I'd rather have a sickening pound cake than a wedding cake without all the additives, because I knew that I had to fall in love with who I was, fall in love with the body I had, fall in love with everything about me, and started soul searching before I got surgeries, so that I didn't go overboard, and become a science project and all of these different things. So as you transition, you realize that you never stop transitioning. Once you start, I think you continue to transition no matter what. And I think that's for people, period. I think that we all still transition because who we wanted to be, who we sought ourselves to be at 24, we don't want at 34.
Because we're always evolving, right?
As
Yeah.
we evolve, as we grow, as we whatever. So
And as you get older in life, I always tell people you look at things different. Um, what was important to you in your 20s ain't important to you no more in your 30s and 40s and so on, so you have to really find yourself and consistently, you know, do work on yourself.
and take your time with things, because
Yeah,
you rush into things and then realize this ain't even something you're gonna still want later on.
right.
It's okay to take
Right.
your time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Wow. So who introduced you to the stage part of life? How did that come about?
there was a club in Charleston called Deja Vu. And I started going to the club, and the first drag queen I ever saw was Mary Jane Starr. She's now deceased. And Brooke Collins in South Carolina. Brooke Collins is still around. She had a lot of big backpacks and feather head pieces, and she still make jewelry, and she always smelled like flowers. And she was down at the club Pantheon, and I was getting in all the clubs, so I saw them, and I was like, I want to do this. And then that's when I met. After I met Tiffany Monet and all of them stuff, that's when I met Imani Valentino, who just gave up Showgirl. Imani was my mother for maybe like a year. Um, and then she did a pageant against me and my sister Desire, and I was like, fuck that hoe. That's it for me. She helped us get ready for the pageant now. She
Yeah.
helped us get ready for the pageant, and it was like, oh, Imani doing it. I'm like, no, she's not. So I asked her, she was like, no, I'm not. And then she's at registration doing the pageant against me and Desire, and that was it for me, baby. I was like,
Did
oh,
she
no.
win?
She did win.
Oh, she set y'all up, baby.
Down.
She set y'all up. So
She was
did you?
even making our stuff. Like, she made like some of my stuff. I had made my gown, and she had made something for me, and she was restyling this hair for me and all of this stuff. So that's how I became a Valentino. So I did the little pride pageant. That was the very first pageant I did. Then I started doing shows at Deja Vu. And then when I moved away, me and DeMarcus were in Atlanta.
Shout out to
Um,
Demarcus.
and because me and DeMarcus have known each other since we were children.
Oh, now see,
So
I didn't know that.
me and DeMarcus met as teenagers. And then we moved here. And then that's when we started going to pageants and doing shows. And then he was like, girl, I'm like, bitch, I'm finna start doing this. And then he was like, well, I'm gonna start helping you. And that's when he was dressing me, and we would, that's why we were at all the pageants together. We were at everything together. We were doing everything together. And then he kind of got his, you know, name in the industry, and then I got mine, and then we kind of went our separate ways because I was like, bitch, you for everybody now. You're not even for me no more, baby. You go ahead, do your thing, baby. See, I got time for you.
Yeah.
Because you for everybody now. We came in this together. It's supposed to be just us. Now you painting this bitch, doing this hole, and doing this and doing. I'm like, baby, I'm good on that, baby. You go ahead over there. And I just like, okay, well, I'm gonna go over here. But we're of course still close friends. Like DeMarcus is actually in charge of anything. If something was to happen to me today or tomorrow, he is the go-to. He is in control of everything. Everything that I own belongs to him.
Oh, I love that. That's a great friend to have. You write that shit down and put that in the wheel.
Oh, it is.
So it won't be no goddamn problem. They'll be having
Because
you
if
standing
something
up.
was to happen to me right now, my grandmother would pressure my mother to put me in the ground as Dustin.
As Dustin. And you far from Dustin. You don't
Far.
even want, you're far from Dustin, baby. But let me ask you this. You said you met your mom, Danejah, your drag mom. How was that relationship for you? What did you learn from that relationship? And when did it go awry?
I actually learned a lot from Blush. I would never, ever, ever take anything from her because she taught me a lot of stuff, even unintentionally. You know, I watched her. I feel like, you know, we helped each other. Like I helped, you know, push her and she helped push me. You know, watching her do makeup, watching how quick she was, like hot gluing some shit together and something happened and she'd be like, oh, and like, oh, bitch, hold on. Oh, Miss Thing, that was sickening. But I realized that our personalities didn't really mesh well. And because I'm one of those people, I know it's not a bad thing, but I said something like, I always try to fix people. I always want to fix people. And when I see that people are in a place of being broken, I always overexert myself to help. And sometimes people aren't in a place to help.
They're not in a place to even receive it.
And you know, everyone knew that I was one of Blush's children that always made sure she was on her shit.
Right.
I don't went to Blush house and put everybody out. Bitch, y'all laying up in here and bills ain't paid and she going through this. Bitch, y'all get y'all big funky ass out of here.
Get the fuck out.
And clean out. And you, even with Cassadine, like when I ended up moving to Florida with Cassadine, I still had my apartment in Atlanta, but every morning I'm getting up making her eggs soft, like toast, a room temperature water for her to take her medicine. Like, you know, like that was just who I was. So I was the same with Blush, but I realized that because the competition aspect of me growing as an entertainer, her still being in the industry, and eventually we would have to, I think that started to play a part in it. I think when I started becoming my own self, I think we slightly grew apart. And then there was a lot of outside things as well. There were different elements. And then I had to apologize to her here recently because I felt away with her when Cassadine passed away for some reasons. And I think that played a part in why I started to dislike her.
And what was that?
So Cassadine had called me when she was in the hospital in Jacksonville.
This is after she got pumped, right?
When she was at the hotel.
Okay.
After she had gotten pumped. And said that she wasn't feeling well. Now, she didn't say that she had been pumped at that point. She didn't tell me.
Right.
She said, I'm not feeling well. I want to go home and go to the hospital. I was like, well, Cassadine, I'm with Blush. You know, I'm not driving. I said, well, Blush, Cassadine, I want to go to the hospital. She want to know if you could take her home to Tampa. And Blush was like, no, I got to go home. And I sat in the passenger seat and I literally cried. I was like, because I'm like, this lady want to go to the hospital, like, you know, and there's nothing that I can do because I'm not driving.
Right.
And although it's not her fault, that played in my mind to say, well, if this could have or would this have changed this? And
Would you?
it made me start to grow a disdain and a dislike for her. And it wasn't
Right.
even her fault.
It wasn't her fault.
So as I grew and I sat in here one day and I literally cried about it, this is actually a couple of months ago, and I messaged Blush and I said, hey, we need to talk. I said, I think it's time. And I said, I need to apologize to you. She said, for what? And, you know, I apologized and I told her, and she was like, well, how do you think I feel? You don't think that those things play? And I had to realize that I was not the only person grieving. I was not the only person going through that. I'm not the only person still going through that. So, but I felt like I
Yeah.
owed her an apology as I grew and as I started to find peace in the situation, because that level of peace just got to me.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a big person to call somebody and tell them. I'm always vocal about being a big communicator when somebody makes you feel away. Because sometimes we can hold on to things so long, and it's really only harming us because people don't know what we feel on the inside. We
And
never
she never knew
right.
why I disliked her or why I just would
Just stop
always
fucking
have
with
a
it. Yeah.
with her. Like she could say the smallest little thing and I'd be like, girl, I'm gonna knock your fucking head off.
Yeah.
Like
So,
it,
but what moment was it that made you say, I got to stop blaming her? What was that? What clicked in that?
like I said, I was sitting in the house one day and weird things happen as far as it pertains to Cassadine. Like
Yeah.
she'll just pop up. Like
Yeah.
I'll wake up and she'll be on the screen of my phone in the top, like in memories or
Wow.
something like that. Or I think sometimes when I really need her, or like when I'm going through something and like I know that she will be the perfect person for that moment, it's almost like she pop up some way somehow.
Yeah.
Whether it be a whiff of her fragrance or something like weird. Um, and it was one of those times, and I realized it's time to let this go.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
time to move on. It's time to operate in a level of peace. And I'm gonna be real with you, universe helped that happen for me because up until last year, every year that I went to universe was for Cassadine, it was never for me.
Mm.
And when
Mm.
I realized what I was doing, I realized that it was time to let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not in the way, because I thought letting go meant I was giving up on her. I was going to forget
Yeah.
her. I was going to
Yeah.
like just say, fuck it, you don't matter to me anymore when you had such an influential part in who I am.
Right. Right.
Um, and when you realize that you being who you are every day still is a reflection of them if they had a lot to do with who
Yeah.
you are.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
when anybody sees me or mention my name, they say Cassadine before anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
that'll never
Wow.
be forgotten. And so once I released that, I realized that I had to release all that came with it. I had to forgive Dolores for whatever that may be. I had to let the
fuck that
situation with
bitch.
Blush go. I had to forgive even those who said all of those mean and nasty, disgusting things about me, even in the moment after she died when people didn't know me and was wondering how I had this and how I was being able to do this and do that. And that's why even in that moment, like I tried my best to do right by people. That's why I
Yeah.
knew that you needed what you needed and I got what you asked me for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
It
Dolores
was
was supposed
because
to
it
give
was
me
never
something.
about just me. It was about everybody because I know what she meant to everybody. And when
Yeah.
you have someone that means so much to everybody, and in this moment, everybody is trying to only validate who they were to them and not who this
Yeah.
person was to so many
Yeah.
different people,
That's it.
you end up in these situations. And I think that people forget that sometimes people have relationships with people that people would never even know about.
That you're just not privy to. You're not privy to, you know. And
So
when I seen you around her a lot, I said, she must really like this girl. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's moments in Tanisha's life where she meet people, and she meet people that she don't know. 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 and they lock in and they just go. You know what I'm saying? It was Talia for a minute. I said she must really have a great deal of respect and love for this young lady because they're always together. You know what I'm saying? Or they
And
always
she made me
going to.
she made me move there. She said, "Bitch, I don't give a fuck what you doing." She called me and she showed me once she got the little house in Hollywood. She showed me how she went and bought the bed, the comforter set, the this, the that, and I was like, "Girl, Cassadine, like I'm just coming to visit." So I packed a bag and said I was only going to visit. And because of the way in which we bonded, the conversations we had, the everything, I just never left. And I still had my apartment in Atlanta at that point in time. So I was still just there just because I didn't want to leave. She didn't want me to leave. And I realized in that moment that she needed me. And I was there for the reason.
Did you know she was going to get pumped?
So, yes.
Why didn't you call me? Because I would have came down there and smacked bitches.
But the thing about it is, I did not know that she was going to go get pumped in her chest. So when she went and won the pageant, the Sapphire, what was the name of the pageant?
Oh shit, I don't know. She was always in the pageant, so whatever. We just
the very last pageant that she won, when she wore the silver gown, and I made her the shoulder
the blue and stuff in it. Yeah,
I think it was like it was like Sapphire something in like Ohio or something like that. And I was talking to her all the way driving back and driving there and all of that stuff. And she was like, well, once I get back, because remember, she just had went to California as well. Remember, she went to do the little shooting thing and all of that stuff with them. So that money had hit, and she said, well, I'm going to go get a little hit because, you know, I'm trying to da-da-da, and I just want to smooth out. And I'm like, well, okay, because at this point, I wasn't knowledgeable about silicone. I didn't know none of the good, bad, the ugly, anything. I just saw all of these body beautiful girls with all of these silhouettes and shapes and high hips that I wanted.
Yeah.
So, the craziest thing is, she went to Jacksonville and got pumped, and the same weekend, me and my daughter Alexis, we were going to Jacksonville. That's why we ended up in Jacksonville, and we were supposed to go get pumped as well. I had done said, I'm gonna get pumped. I'm no longer scared. I'm gonna just try it out because, bitch, I want some hips. And we didn't go because there was a lot of situation there. My daughter was competing in the pageant, and we just ended up not doing it. And it just so happened Cassadine had went, and that situation happened, and it scared me from going to get pumped. And she still didn't tell me that she had gotten pumped. Desiree told me.
Desiree is who told me as well, because I didn't know why Tanisha had just fell sick. See, when I first met Tanisha, all Tanisha talked about was, child, I'm dying. I'm dying. This was back in like late 90s, early 2000s. You know, when HIV wasn't as advanced, the medicines and stuff wasn't as advanced as they are now.
Outside, child. Woo! And I said, or just lost the T cell. All the jokes.
Anything. She always
opened the door for HIV to be so comfortable.
It was so comfortable. She talked about it. And listen, she talked about it before all these institutions, these advocacy things even came to play. She was always talking about her status, and people used to always say, oh, I'm so sick of her talking about HIV and AIDS, and every time she answers a question, but that ended up being like a segue for people who was dealing with that on the low. They had started confiding in her. And let me tell you something. She never told people business. Nothing I've ever told her has ever came back.
And you know that's why I said what I said. We got to get back to a certain level of being, like I said in question, a queen. And what that really means to be a servant to your people, because that means when you're more relatable, when you're authentic in who you are and what you are in all regards, there is always somebody that is going to relate to that. There's going to be somebody who relate to feeling or being the underdog. There's going to be somebody that relates to survival sex work. There's going to be somebody that relates to sex work. There's going to be somebody that relates to porn. There's going to be somebody that relates to depression or body dysphoria or any of these different things that we all go through.
Because let's be honest, let's be honest. This community, as much as we love it, it still gives us a complex. It gives most people a complex about themselves. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
It makes you think you got to be, you know, like You have to have this. You got to be this. You got to, if you ain't got this, you ain't this. And it's so confusing and mind boggling sometimes. And I used to always tell her, girl, you enough. And I remember I didn't know why she was sick. And I remember the girl that pumped her inboxed me. And she said, I am sorry for your loss. At this point, I still didn't know this was the girl who pumped her or this was what was happening, that she had been pumped. It was when I talked to Desiree. Desiree laid it out more for me what happened. I was like, whoa. Because me and her talked about it. I said, girl, I'll buy you some breasts. You know what I'm saying? If you want bigger breasts,
Yeah.
I'll buy you some more breasts. What's up? And she's like, okay, we're gonna do that. But I never knew
Because I
she had.
was under the impression that she was going to get her hips touched. She
Yeah.
never said she was doing anything with her chest, because that's weird to me.
That's weird to me too.
I would have never said, go get that in your chest. And honestly,
They silky.
I just think that she was she was tired. She was ready anyway.
You know what? Danejah, they gave me so listen, TANISHA has been ready to die since I met her in 1999.
And I think
She
that
has been okay with death.
she held on for people.
Yes.
She held on for the ones that she loved. She held on for different things. And I say this based on conversations that we had sitting at that table. And that's why when she passed, I was so bothered, because even when we spoke about her dying and what she wanted and how she wanted this, and how, she was always afraid that when she died, she would die ugly, she would die sickly, bad looking, and this, that, and the third. So that's why she didn't want a funeral. That's why she didn't want to be viewed and all these different things. And when those things did not happen, or it was not in that capacity, I felt like she still deserved X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
But these are conversations that me and her had. But again, me and her having a conversation, and her having a conversation with other people, and what other people thought, felt, how they whatever, that's almost like hearsay. And I'm not here to negate, argue, or try to make you see my point, or what conversations we had. I just know the conversations that we had. And when we sat there and we cried together, we sat there in that kitchen while she making chili and
hot water cornbread
and all of these different things, and really like bonding, and had an experience of, she would say, I'm tired, but if I stop, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
If I stop doing these shows, what is my quality of life? Who am I at that point? And not understanding that you are somebody beyond this, that you will still be loved, respected, without the shows, without the pageants, without the titles, without any of this stuff, because you've done enough. And not only have you done enough in your career, you've done enough and done right by so many people, that you are more than enough. Because even for me, you didn't know me. You took me in and showed me a world that I have never experienced before. Up until now, because me and my mom have an amazing relationship now, but I have never, ever in my life felt what that lady showed me.
Me neither.
From biological family.
Me neither.
And so that's why that has held so much weight in who I am and how I operate. My doors are always open to people. Everybody always coming here to eat. Like, there in a time where I got a place and somebody ain't staying with me.
Yeah. Did you get that from her?
And all of these different things are things that I was shown by someone who I know knew how to show love and show up. Not just talk about it, but be about it.
Yeah.
And I just, that was, but I do believe that I found peace in the situation after I took myself out of it. I looked at it, and I looked at the conversations and remembered the dynamic of the conversations in which we were having. And, after Kiki passed away, that was a big thing for her.
Oh my God.
She laid in that bed for days. I had to take her medicine her room temperature water and her breakfast, and she was in the bed.
Mm.
She would turn her head so I didn't see that she was crying. She was trying to show so much strength, but
Yes.
at the end of the day, she knew that she didn't have the strength to even go to Memphis because of the situation, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was a lot. Not being able to
Girl, you
say
got me. You
goodbye,
got a
but
fucking
being able to
cry.
say goodbye in the best way she knew how. And I think that everything just kind of played a part in that moment. And me being someone who was there in that moment, you see it, you feel it, you know it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
so
She
everything
knew how
leading up to that moment led up to that moment.
she loved the underdog because she too was an underdog. You know, like I learned perseverance from her. I learned how to keep going even when people kept telling me no from her because she would keep coming to this city. They would keep closing the door in her face. She's like, "Oh, I got to keep going. I got to keep going." I'm like, "Well, for what?" And she's like, "Listen, Trent, you just got to keep going, baby. It's gonna happen." And I learned how to be gowns. I learned how to do everything. I was very instrumental in, you know, because she had gave me so much. I didn't even know how to repay her because, like you said, I never felt that type of love from nobody, not from my family, not from nobody that was supposed to love me like that. I never experienced that from nobody. But when it came to her, this was somebody who said, met us at a club one night, and my gay mom Kiki walked up to her. She had just lost a page, and she said, Tanisha was sitting in the car. She had a Trans Am, a really lovely Trans Am. I don't know if y'all, you know, I'm really telling my age because they don't even make Pontiacs no more, but it was like a sports car, like a Camaro almost, right? And Kiki knocked on her window and said, God told me to tell you that he loved you and I love you too. That night, that became Kiki's mother. About a week later, Tanisha said, oh, y'all moving with me. And within moving with her, I got a chance to do makeup. I mean, watch her do it because everybody came to her house to get their makeup done. And so I was like, whoa, I want to do this too. She taught me her craft. She took me places um, that I'd never been. I'd never been out of the city. You know what I'm saying? Even though we didn't have no money, you know, she taught me all these type of things. And we don't have enough queens, I think, in this industry right now. I think people are so self-absorbed that they don't know how to
Mm-hmm.
reach out to people and be what people need. So the foundation in our community now is a bit weak. You know what I'm saying? And what I love about
It's all
Cassadine,
about who can be here and look down on people.
yes,
And
Right.
people don't even understand the power comes from being amongst the people.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
You're no better
Mm.
than anyone
You know,
because of
but I don't
whatever.
care what you have. You're not better than nobody.
No.
And you cannot be anything without the people
Ain't that right,
still.
Max? Yeah. And it always takes a production of people to put whoever together to make these people amazing as they were. You know, like even if you look at singers and stuff, they may have an amazing voice, but somebody still got to write a song that makes them have a hit. You know what I'm
Somebody
saying?
still
So
do their hair, they makeup, dress them,
yeah.
production.
And
Not some of this stuff don't even be their own ideas.
and let me tell
Right.
you, I always tell Blush this, and I'm gonna tell you, and I tell Kiana, I appreciate y'all because like I said, I don't do pageants. All I can do, and you know, I don't do drag makeup as much as I used to. So my name ain't running out there like y'all. Y'all keep the name alive. And y'all are doing an amazing job with that. Um, I love what she passed on to y'all. I love that, you know, I even know like Blush will. She remind me so much of Cassadine. They'll put on anything sometimes. Like, just get me to the stage, you know, type of thing. I just have to tell Tisha, hold on, girl, that fabric too cheap. Come here, let me help you with that. That ain't it. But the love for the stage uh and to be seen and to be accepted was huge for her. And I know that one thing she wanted to be more than anything was Black Universe. And I heard you say earlier in this interview is that you was doing it for her.
Mm.
Walk me through that. Why did you feel
Please,
a need?
please do.
Did you need to get a lick back for her? Or why did you need?
So that's honestly what it was. When you watch
Thank
somebody
you,
that
man.
you like really love, become so many different things. And even step out of who they are. Like that year Cassadine went to fucking Universe and put that Alexis Mateo fucking pink dress on with the cutouts and all of this shit on and all of this stuff. Like, she tried so many different things. You literally watched her try to mold and shape herself and change things to be who she felt like they needed her to be a part of them.
I agree.
And with that being said, I said that'll never be me, right? And then I said, they may not have given it to her, but somebody, and I get that, you know, people have won and be like, oh, this is for her, this is for us, but they don't carry the name. They don't have that Cassadine behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that not to say that it holds more weight, but it does to me. To see that name alone just be a part and written in that history is just what it is. And I wanted to be, because at one point in time, before I knew exactly who I was, I wanted to do everything Cassadine did.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like that was part of keeping her alive. I wanted to go win everything she won. I wanted to start doing things like her. And I realized that it was making me a joke. People were laughing at me, and people was like, oh, girl, she was trying to be Cassadine. She don't know who she is. But girl, go by, little girl. You don't even know who you are. You don't got your own identity, all these different things. And again, within growth, I realized that I could keep her alive and still be me.
Yes.
Because she still gave me all the tools to be me. And when she was here, she always told me to be the best me. She told me one time, she said, girl, even now, the stuff you got, you can whoop me. You just don't know what to do with it. And when you learn what to do with what you got, you're going to be some hell. And for somebody that I looked up to see it for me, I knew that I had to do what was necessary. I had to keep learning. I had to keep growing. I had to keep being the best, keep showing up. And Universe was that. The Black America hurt was, because my dream was always to be Black America.
Okay.
That was my dream, Black America.
So why did you deviate from it?
Standing in that first runner-up spot twice back-to-back was
That's
a different
lot.
type of hurt.
That's a lot.
When you make top 5, you're like, oh, you almost made it, but to know like, oh, you was almost there. You touched the hem of it, but couldn't. It's just a different feeling. So I was like, you know what?
Right.
I'm gonna start investing in Universe, and I was like, I'm gonna go get this for us. And it wasn't just for Cassadine. At one point in time, it was for her and Ashton. And then, as I started getting ready for the pageant and doing the pageant those times, I realized because I wasn't doing it for me, I wasn't competing efficiently. Because I was thinking, what would Cassadine do? Or how should I do this? Or how should I navigate this? And my emotions would always be all over the place preparing for the pageant. I was always including her in a talent or doing this or doing that. And then I realized this ain't working. And through that process, I started to get my own love and fire for the system. And that's when things shifted. And I realized that I was no longer there for her. I was there for us. And I was there for me. And because I was there for me, I started competing completely different.
Completely different, yeah.
And that's when I showed up last year. And then showed up this year. And, you know, and I gotta have it. I mean, regardless of what people may say, like, they're gonna have to keep showing me till they get tired and motherfucking give me my guys.
Well, let me tell you something.
And I'm gonna tell you this.
They don't mind showing you.
Oh, they don't. But it took me a while because I wanted to reach out to you specifically after Universe, and I felt so bad.
Why?
I have felt so bad, right? And I was fine after the pageant. But when I walked in the dressing room and I saw you, I had cracked.
Why?
Because for me, I felt like, not intentionally, but I almost snatched a Band-Aid off a wound that I think had already healed.
For me or you?
I think for everybody. I think for you as well. Because, like, I just didn't want it to be a situation where almost my situation and me going to universe brought back and rehashed the whole emotions of what y'all went through with Cassadine.
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, it does.
And I think you hit the nail on the head, because Trent hardly ever contacts me after a pageant. I don't think he ever
And
has.
unless
we was talking shit about somebody. But he hit me up after that night. And when I'm telling you, that nigga was going the fuck off. So I
but
think
y'all, Trent
you
wouldn't even look at me. Like, he was packing his stuff and he was slinging this. And I'm sick of these motherfuckers. And I said, oh my God. Like,
Danejah, you are so right. I think it did open up an old wound. Because that motherfucker was going.
That's what
no, y'all. No. I'm past that wholeheartedly. You know, those people treat me well now over there. You know, there was a time I got barred from feeling the way I felt and saying the things that I wanted to say, but I've never been a person to bite my tongue, because I grew up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? We learned to fight. My brother came home every day with a different combination of how to fight. You know, he made sure that I wasn't gonna be no punk bitch and nobody was gonna do nothing to me, right? So I was never scared of anybody, right? But that part of life, I always told Cassadine, I said, Atlanta is sort of a sorority fraternity type thing. They cliquish, they like who they like, and they always gonna watch out for their people first. You understand? I said, this is not a sorority that's gonna let you cross over. You've proved to them that you can win this pageant, because there's 2 years arguably that we can say she won, but I'm not gonna open that up, because people, you know, get in their feeling. But this is how I feel. You get what I'm saying? This is how I feel. You know, it don't have to be nobody else's truth. It's mine. And I was always telling, I said, it's some reason you're not supposed to be a part. Because I remember when they had the Chaparral and Mario and all them people, the same people that run that system was running stuff. She couldn't even win Miss Chaparral. Now, TANISHA went around the city and won everything. Continental on her first try, Black America on her second try. You know, just all this stuff that these girls have done, you know, she beat their girls before. And you tell me we can't get this? What about this that we can't get? You know what I'm saying? And people will gaslight you, because when they're in a clique, like I always tell people, they got their minions, so they'll make their minions say anything they want them to say. Oh no, she had this and did, and for us, I believe they magnify our problems and they excuse everybody else's issues. You get what I'm saying? So that's a harsh reality that I had to learn about just being in Atlanta and how things work here. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's protection from y'all. You remember I came to you one day, I said, listen, if you're doing this pageant for Cassadine, you might well stop. They didn't crown her. So they ain't gonna crown your ass if you're doing it for her. If this your ode to her, then you need to find another outlet. You remember I told you that?
Right.
And the piece of it all is I never thought she was supposed to be a part of it. And once I understood that, I was good. Because the last time she went, I was trying to get JD Martin set up. I was trying to get this set up. I had paid Savannah for presentations and stuff. TANISHA wouldn't even leave Tampa. Oh, I can't get off work yet. So I just took myself out of it. Ashton, Lord rest his soul, made her. I remember her putting out her sportswear to put on first night. I said, what the fuck is that?
Which one? The blue?
The blue. I said, what the fuck is that? I said, that's all the fuck you got? Like, this is how I'm going off the first night, right? Because I know for me that she would have to do what she know plus double to get the equal amount of respect that the other people get. And I was okay with that. I have no ill will, because what I learned is that everybody who won these systems that they wanted to be real bad, everybody didn't have a good reign. Everybody didn't have a good time. I saw people miserable in their reigns. And that's just not where God wanted her at. So I've been relinquished that. The fact that y'all still want to do it, I'd be like, okay, y'all, now don't expect nothing. They judge us a bit harder. And I'll stand on that. And ain't
and
let
you
nobody
did, and
defute me.
but you were very transparent with that. But like I think for me, this year was so different because I feel like I had everything I wanted or everything I dreamt of. And when I said that, even in that post, like you finally paint me after years of me begging and threatening
Yeah.
to fight you and all kind of stuff, like I finally had that moment, right?
Yeah.
So even if I never went back, that was enough for me because I
Yeah.
had that moment.
Yeah.
And I feel like I had that bonding moment. I feel like I had like my family with me.
Yeah.
And you know, because regardless of us really knowing each other, like, you know, there was times that I would run stuff past you and, you
Mm-hmm.
know, we all kind of do it. Like, Trent, well, what you think about this? Because we know you're the heavily opinionated one that don't give a fuck really what come out your mouth. And
Oh,
regardless of how
Jesus
close, whether we
Christ.
family or not, you still gonna read us and say, oh, well, bitch, your foot was on the floor. Or, oh, well, girl, but what about this? And like, you're
Yeah.
still going to say it and like not really give a fuck. So I'd rather get it from you now than have to hear it later.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Danejah, tell us then, because you said that you're going to continue to go. So knowing the family history, and I'm not knocking any system, so please, but I'm just feeding off of the conversation, knowing the family history with the system, and then what your brother has just said, how he feels about the system. What is it that really drives you to continue to want to be a part of it? Not saying that you shouldn't, but what is it about this brand that really makes you want to be? Because after you get it, is this the point I want you to get to, I want you to conclude with, is when you finally get it, what's the reward? What's the gratification when you
When I
actually
finally
have it?
get it,
Mm-hmm.
I think they gonna understand why I needed it or why I,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and for me, it's going to be able to say that I did it. And I'm a
Okay.
Scorpio. I don't like to be told no.
Yeah. Scorpios are
Mm-hmm.
very competitive.
And you gonna have to make me motherfucking know it.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
thing about it is even when you make me know it, you ain't did nothing but piss me off and make me go back and come back harder. And then what happens is ultimately is if I continue to come back here and y'all continue, and I'm just making this as a general statement, and y'all continue to fuck me over, at some point you're gonna realize that you're not doing anything but hurting yourself. Because we're in a new generation. We're not in a generation where you are the only thing. You are not the only creme de la creme. There's 50,000 things that everybody want to be. That's giving away more money. That's giving away more work and all of that stuff. And honestly, the lineage and the legacy is not enough for some people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so ultimately, it starts to cause a shake and a move. And I feel like certain parents are in an area where they need a rebirth, when they need a phoenix that's going to rise from the ashes and do some things that need to be done.
Mm.
And there's certain people that are not going to be able to do it. There are certain people that don't bring the buzz that some people winning certain pageants don't inspire or usher in a new generation because people
Mm.
don't. They're I feel like a ruler should be somebody that people want to be like. A ruler should inspire people to say, well, bitch, if she can do it, I can do it too. If she can walk this and she can make it happen, then you know what? So can I. And I
Mm.
understand that there will always be a sacrificial lamb for everything. And that has been my story throughout life. Nothing has come to me easy.
Me neither.
And
So
everything
because
that you're
nothing has come
saying,
to me
go ahead.
easy, I understand that I'm going to have to work a little harder. But guess what? In that moment of me working harder, when I get it, it's going to be the fucking moment.
And I want you to always be true to yourself, because what happens, it's the same thing that happened to Cassadine when they don't win, because when you probably should have won and you don't win or whatever. Now here come everybody telling you what you need to change, right? So now
Mm-hmm.
you boggling your mind because now you're doing all this different stuff, and then you you're no longer true to yourself, and you're still not winning. So it can play in your mental. My biggest prayer for like Danejah tell you, I used to call Danejah, like Danejah got first run up to every national pageant that there was. And I said, this type of rhetoric can play so hard on a person, and people don't even care. Because people say, oh, it's just a pageant, child. It ain't that serious. But it's more than a
Mhm.
pageant. This is
Mhm.
sacrifice. People sacrifice their
Mhm.
bills. People
Mhm.
sacrifice friendships, you flying back and forth to designers, people not meeting your deadlines, uh, you're having benefit shows, you having all this stuff to compete for these systems and stuff, and sometimes they just don't show up well for people. My biggest prayer for y'all is to have a mind where I don't need to be this. If I do
Mhm.
become it, it's a bonus for y'all.
Yeah.
But I want y'all to always understand how to walk in your purpose. Your purpose. Tanisha Cassadine purpose wasn't MBU. Her purpose was just what it was. She touched so many people's lives. You know what
She
I'm saying? Just
did.
by doing that
Oh, she
pageant.
did.
You know what I'm saying? She created a fan base that, just from doing that pageant. So she gained and won a lot from doing that pageant. Um, what is it about you that, like, because now I see you go through the ranks of things too. Some things I see, I feel like are unfair. Some things I feel like, well, no, she could have did better in this. You know what I'm saying? I'm very true with y'all. I even with Tanisha, like when what's that girl name won Black University that year, the last time she came? Ramaya. Ramaya was kicking pure ass. I kept going to that checking on, say, girl, you okay? But this girl put her feet on the gas and she ain't got to buck up off of it. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for you, baby, not tonight. I'm very truthful with y'all, but what is it about you, Danejah, that you think you give off to make people feel like they can't trust you with their crown? Because you're no slouch, okay? You're former Miss Black Continental Plus, former Miss Duval Plus, or you're a former Miss Westland Grand. Like, you're no slouch. We know that when you get on that stage, you put your things on. But what is it about you feel that they're not getting?
Let me interject before she gives her answer, because just in this conversation, some people are too real for folks.
Oh,
I think that she would be the type of person, and I'm talking about with any system she reigns in. I'm not picking on any system. I think when she smells bullshit, she gonna tell everybody what it really smell like. When she see things that are not real, she's gonna call it out. When she see people being mistreated, she's gonna stand up. That's just my opinion. Sometimes you can be too real and too much for some
yeah.
people. But anyway, you go ahead.
I agree on it.
So I definitely agree with that because I've had those issues before. Um, what I will say is I had to. That's what fucked with me the most. Trying to figure out the why.
Okay.
Trying to figure out, well, what it is about me that they don't. And then you hear these things that, oh, she's hard to work with. She got an attitude problem. Y'all don't even fucking know me. Y'all have never
Mm,
even had a conversation with me. You've never sat down to a table with me. You've never even like experienced my energy and who I am as an individual. You go off of maybe my interaction with my friends, and guess what? I'm a shit talker. When I see you, I talk shit. But like I said, if I'm not talking shit to you, I don't like you.
because you always talking about how you gonna beat me up. I'm like, why this girl
We
want to
not
beat me up?
friends if I'm not asking you, do you want to fight? That's my way of saying I love you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like for me, um, but I've learned that my authenticity is who I am. And that's who's making me who I am. And that's what's carried me this far to be the moment.
Okay.
To be and make the moments that I've made and to touch the people that I've touched. Because even after Universe, the morning of Universe, I sat in that suite and I boo hoo cried because the messages, the outpouring, the stuff that people were saying to me, that were complete strangers that I've never even seen before, but they saw what I had been trying to do. They saw that I was trying to put my heart on my sleeve in this moment so that I could be accepted in a way in which I've never been before. I was trying to be out. I was trying to do something that I don't like to do, which is quote unquote play the game and go out. I'm not the type. I'm not going to family night just because I'm doing a pageant, because
Right.
that to me is fake, and I'm not fake. We're not built. Are we building relationships based on pageantry and the in crowd, or are we basing relationships off of real relationships? Because if I deal with you, I want a real relationship with you. I don't want to only talk about pageants. I want to know that if something happened to me, I can call about real life. I want to have a sustainable relationship where we know what's up with each other and not just based on pageantry. So I'm not building fake relationships and befriending you because I'm doing a pageant, because that to me is not real. And I don't have that amount of time or energy to waste when I could be putting that into something that's going to last past this pageant. Because we make these relationships with y'all, and then after the pageant, we don't talk no more.
Yeah.
You don't get the calls no more. You don't get the texts no more. You don't get the check-ins no more after the contest is over. What was the point of that?
Right.
That's
Because
wasted time that I couldn't get back, that I could have been investing in somebody that's a lifelong situation.
yeah. Yeah.
So the battling of the why has been an issue for me for a while, and then I started to say that I can't worry about the why. I can only continue to do what I'm doing because every time I've went and lost that pageant, I've gained something. I've learned something. And the next time I go do something else, the sponsorship or the love that I receive from people, and the manner in which they show up for me because they feel how they feel has been unmatched. So ultimately, I feel like I'm doing something right.
Yeah. That's a winner within
So
itself.
what else? So, but other than that, what else do you want? What else would you like to see yourself writing for? I would love to see you come to film, to Miss America film at some point.
Yes. You better
I'm just putting that out there.
I want to eventually broaden my horizons. I think that ultimately when I first came in, I did the whole trying to, go over, and at some point it was a situation how I felt in my real life of, being biracial, like, okay, well, over here you too black, but over here you still a little too, whatever. And when I would go to, the mainstream systems, I felt like I was too urban or too black for them in that moment, or in that point in time, a stage in my life. But I do have goals. Like I want to be Continental Plus. I'm never going back to AG, but Gay America is something that I could see because of the business aspect of it and what they really instill in you. I think that they get it. They get the business aspect of it. They get the work of it, of what we're here for, not just the tiaras and the rhinestones. So I think that later on down the line, there's a lot of other things that I want to be. I just had to start to focus on one thing and try to finish that goal because I was labeled as a pageant hopper just 2 years ago.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
If I lost this one, I'm going to show up to this one because this is a job. I'm filling out applications. You don't just fill out one application. You fill out and submit your resume till you get a job.
Amen.
So they don't hire me. So guess what? I'm going over here to apply.
Why not? I got the qualifications.
And guess what? While I'm at this full-time job, I got the part-time job over here, making a little extra cash too. Like it's just, but they don't say that. Oh, we want you to dedicate your time. We want you to show that you're dedicated to us and this and the third. And so I've done all of that. But at this point, I'm giving Universe a little break. I am already in preparation to return back to Black America in March.
Come on, Symbol. Come on, Symbol.
Oh, good for you.
And I'm ready because of a few different things. I realized that I've never competed at Black America how I've competed at Universe.
Yeah. Some people call you the sportswear queen over there at Black Universe. How'd that feel? As you get the kids toes on the ground and all the kids was running through the building.
First of all, and let me clear this up.
Girl, they said so.
I had a motherfucking 5-inch platform on. There was no way possible on God's green earth that my foot could be touching the floor.
Well, no, they were saying that it was throwing gang signs.
I would show you my feet and actually
because I know you're a foot model.
Down. So first of all, they would never
in.
throw up gang signs.
They say them
now they may have slipped over a little bit. And again, I'm a real bitch. The only time that my foot touched the floor was at Sweetheart. It wasn't even at Universe. Yeah. And that's in presentation. That's because we grabbed the wrong motherfucking shoes. And guess what? We was already at the pageant, bitch, and I had to put them on and go do what I had to do.
Where does your ideas come from? Because how does one think up, like your sportswear this year was next level to me. Like it even inspired me. I said, oh, I want to draw on this bitch face. Do I got time?
Oh, and I was so
I said, listen, you pull that motherfucker. I was like, whoa, all this time, all this detail, you know. And the crowd enjoyed it. They erupted like they did the year before.
They did, but you know, it already having a preview and people trying to sell it on Facebook on Thursday night for $50. It just had so much of a major film, you know.
Wait a minute, people was trying to sell it?
Baby, they had it in a drag swap group for $50. They had it on Facebook Market selling it for $50 on Thursday night. Them people goal was to knock me off of my game so bad because they were trying to get to me something terrible. But I had already been whatever, and I'm like, guess what? Like Casey told me when I called him, I was like, they got it all over. He's like, calm down. He said, tell them to come beat it.
Come beat it. Come beat it. They did that to Rachel the year before.
I heard that, you know, contestants had it, that all of this different thing. And I prepared this year to beat myself, to be better than what I was last year. Because last year, some things fell through and I didn't get to do things how I wanted to do. Like my gown situation, that was a last minute decision. It just that came that Thursday or Wednesday, and we were stoning it and trying to do whatever. And I got sewn up in it from up under my butt all the way up my back because it came too big. And it ended up drawing it up and making the dress too short, a wee bit too short. Like all of these things, I'm honest. I'm a realist with myself because I'm hard on myself.
Yeah.
Because y'all loved it, but I still felt like it wasn't enough. Like I could have did something a little better. So I always...
Only thing you could have did was brought Jesus out too. You brought the Pope out.
Let me tell you something.
Only thing left was to bring out Jesus. Sister Mary, Mother Mary.
Now, like the sportswear idea I got next, like stuff I'm working on, like I just move on to the next. But this year I prepared differently because I was like, you know, when you're doing a pageant, you size up your competition. You say, okay, well.
So you're still inspired and you're not jaded, right? You know, it comes with the territory, right?
It comes with the territory. It definitely
and
comes
you
with the territory.
Built
and believe it or not, like in this past situation, and I hate to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm not even hurt for me. I'm more so hurt for my sister.
Well, they just started letting me come back over there.
Because honestly, Tayana, I think is where I was last year.
Okay. And what is that feeling?
What is that feeling? I know how that feels. Like it's just, it's not a good feeling, and it's sad because ultimately those situations make bigger issues. Because when you speak your opinion and how you feel and make the winners feel away and feel like you discredited them and then they got an issue and then they got this beef with you and then now they don't like you and now they don't want to speak and this and the third. And it's not even about that. It's just about sometimes fair is fair and right is right. And me even talking about how I was judged does not mean that I'm discrediting your win or whether you won or lost. I'm speaking on how I was judged.
Yeah.
I'm speaking on my experience from the system itself, not you, because ultimately I can't be mad at you because you didn't cry on yourself. Now, whatever you may have did to do what you got to do and all of that stuff, and you know, that still don't got nothing to do with me because I was not involved in those situations.
So when you feel this way about systems, right? And I always ask people, what make you say, I want to go back?
Because
I just got to
ultimately,
go back. Because if you're, would you go back to your husband if he cheated on you? You know, like, because y'all start marrying this thing they call drag. I mean, would you go, like, with people, and some people stay in abusive relationships a long time before they realize, hey, this is not conducive for me.
you
It
stay
doesn't
till
work.
you tired, and when you tired, you be tired, and then you start whooping their ass back. And so that's kind of where I am with it. Like, I'm not tired yet. I'm not worn out
Still
yet.
got fight in you.
And then you understand the political side
Silky
of it.
said it's an addiction. Is it an addiction?
Maybe.
Yeah. You love
But
the
you
stage.
understand. I think when you understand everything, you understand it in its entirety. You know, we've had conversation. Politics do play a part in stuff sometimes.
We'll be
And
fools to
even
think that it
and
don't.
beyond politics, sometimes who you know or what you know work out for you too. And I don't have good girlfriends like that. I don't have people, sitting down here for me. I don't have these things because
So you got to get it out the mud.
that ain't my story. Like I don't have that.
Silky, I think you should. Silky, you got a new stomach now, girl. You should go back to MCP, baby, and tear it down. Tear it down, boo. But
So you don't, when you don't have that, you just don't have it.
Stacey, get off of here. If you talking about wrap something up, get off of here, bitch.
I'm screaming. Girl, fuck Miss
Oh,
Stacy,
girl.
girl.
Yeah, but it just takes a lot to keep bouncing back, and I commend anybody who do pageants. You know,
But
that's
I'm gonna
why I
go
kind of,
back and they're gonna have to see it and feel it one more time.
yeah.
Now I'm not saying I'm gonna continue to keep going back, but like I said on Baxter Live this very time, because like me and you had the conversation when we talked about it before. I wanted to be the best that I could be in that moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And during the pageant, while you size up your competition and say, okay, well, question and answer, okay, well, modeling, stage presence, okay, okay. So when you start doing that, you prepare the best that you know how to prepare for all of these different things. And I knew going into the pageant, they was like, oh, we know she's gonna have clothes, but she's not gonna have a talent. So I invested in a talent. Now the talent didn't go how it was
you wanted
supposed
it.
to go. We had our hiccups in talent. So now to me, I owe it to myself to go and be flawless because that was a flaw. Now, granted, I'm not saying that should have put me where it did, but it still left room for you to do what you needed to do or wanted to do to put me there.
Yeah, I always
Because
say
I
that
should have
too.
never had the problem.
Right, and I always tell y'all this too. I tell you this, I tell Danejah this. I'll be telling y'all, like, I say, listen, they're gonna judge you harder for your flaws, and they're gonna use that as the reason you couldn't and you didn't. So I always tell y'all to cross those T's, dot those I's, even in question and answer. Like, if for some reason judges don't understand the art of conversation. If you ask me a
Because they were saying
two-part
I didn't
question,
answer it, but
if you
because they
ask me a
wanted me to say promoter.
right, if you ask me a two-part question, I could wrap that up in saying one thing. You know what I'm saying? But in this world of pageantry, if you don't say and A such and such and such and such and such, and B such and such and such and such,
Because they
and
were
C,
started saying, oh, you didn't answer the question. I'm like, okay, well,
yes, you did.
common sense would say, when I started speaking directly to my
To the
promoters
promoter.
first.
Yes.
And then I said, and now to you, the audience,
Yes.
I say. So that lets you know that there was a separation in the two answers and who and what I was talking to.
Yeah.
Because Rick
And
was
see,
like, well, you didn't say promoters, and I felt like they was going to get you. Okay, well,
I
that's
did
my
too.
bad. But
I
again,
did too.
we're preparing for pageants. Rick has told me, I think you prepare to be in front of dummies.
Wait a minute, Rick. Now you probably weren't supposed to say that out loud, Danejah.
And I'm not saying like calling them dumb, but you have to prepare to be as straightforward.
Yes, layman's terms. It has to be
and laid out so that there is no room for question.
Yes.
Okay, Smacks, tell that. That's right. And I always tell people that. I said people don't understand art of communication because if they did, or conversation, If they did, they would know that you did answer. But if you don't break it down for them and why I love it, and if this is it, no, you can wrap that up in one thing. But I said to myself after you got for question, I said, oh, they're gonna get her severely for that. Just because you didn't say promoter.
Just because I didn't say promoter.
I
And
said
they
that,
did.
but as you was coming out, you were speaking straight to the promoter. And those are things I be trying to instill in people when I'm talking to you. Treat them like they dummies, you know. And number one, and number two, and number three, you know, you have to do it.
But I'm not sure how that's justifiable, because did y'all hear the ones that was on the other night of the competition? And them
Oh, that
answers.
question work with them girls.
First of all, if you go back and watch the DVD and just the question and answers in its entirety, period, it's just like, huh? But hey, you know, again, some people are judged to this standard, and some people are judged here. Some people are judged here. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, and it's the way the way the game goes. But this is the key reason why I go back to a lot of different things, because I never want to make a bitch feel like they won and they got me. Because that one year I left and I cried and I was sad and depressed and didn't want to get up out my bed and feeling like that. I said, oh, baby, I'm never going to feel like this again. I'm leaving this motherfucker with a smile on my face. Hee hee ha ha. See y'all next year. Matter of fact, I'm doing a prelim next week. What's up?
Yeah. I seen firsthand what wanting something so bad. We went to dinner before the pageant, and I remember telling you, I said, have you surrendered it? And you said, yeah, I'm okay if I win or if I don't win. I said, because sometimes we want something so bad and it's just not the time. It's just not the place for it to happen in our life. I said, so you have to surrender things so they don't take control over your body and your mind, because I watched that happen to people that I love closely. I watched people run to drugs, to mask the pain of not being accepted. Because let's be for real, it's deeper than the pageant. This is a way to be accepted in the community, because once you become a queen or a king, now everybody knows your name. You almost like a celebrity to the community or something, people that want to normally say hi to you are now speaking to you. You're now in rooms that you wouldn't normally be in. So I asked you, did you surrender it? And you did look like after the pageant, like you had surrendered it. Even walking through the pageant, you was calm all night. And I like that, because I'm going to tell you this, when it starts to get like that for you, then don't do it. Take a break. You owe yourself breaks. You understand? It's a lot of work that goes into this. It's a lot of money. People don't give y'all no fucking breaks when it comes to this shit. These choreographers, they want what they want. These makeup artists, they want what they want. These designers, they want what they want. Coming in, you got to pay for your dance.
Speaking of,
4 or 5 times.
Can I get on the books for Black America or no?
Oh yeah, let's talk about it. No, I got you.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. I'll book you. You're booked. You're on the books for March. I'll see you there.
Well, what do you want people to know about you, Danejah? Like, especially systems who have maybe misjudged you or didn't give you your just due or give you the chance that you feel like you deserve. Like,
I feel like I just want people to understand that I'm more of an asset than a liability.
Okay. And when you say asset in which ways?
I think because they don't know me. They don't know sometimes the presence that I carry or the weight that I carry with some of the connections that I have, even with people in the community that people don't know that I have. The amount of following that I have, the amount of people that I inspire, just being me. And so where we start talking about numbers, where we start talking about bringing things back, I think that it's time to start giving people a real chance. And not even just me. I'm doing this for not just me, because I understand in life that everything that I go through is not for me. It's for other people that I may encounter, people that are watching, people that don't have the strength or don't understand how they're going to make it through their situation that they're in. So I'm the light at the end of the tunnel to show that, okay, you can make it through. So even I take that even in pageantry. So a lot of times when I am authentic, when I answer questions and I say concrete roles and being from different places, but understanding we're still the same no matter how we came up, those are real things. Because these are the things that I want people to understand. Just because I got tattoos, long nails, and I had gold teeth in my mouth and wet pink hair does not mean that I'm not educated. That does not mean that I don't know how to get down to business, because in order to do some of the things that I do, you have to know how to do business. I know how to make some money, shake and move.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
And, you know, I get anxiety when my bank account get to a certain point, and most people be like, girl, I wish I had that. I'm
Same
broke.
here. Same
When I
here.
get
Girl, I
that,
get
I'm broke.
nervous. I'm like, I got to work, baby.
Yeah, baby, I get a tour in a quick minute, or make a video, or start selling drag, and because I'm multifaceted, I think that people started to judge me when they started realizing that I was an escort and I made content and all of those different things. But I had to tell them that who I was beyond that is not who I am here, because TS Amazon, Danejah, and the DWBC are three different
Not the TS Amazon.
Yeah.
Girl, go. Oh.
They're two different people. They're all different people, because Danejah's a homemaker. Y'all sit. I sit in this house and be an old lady. All I do is cook and clean, wash clothes, and do drag. Sitting there playing with all these rhinestones and shit.
But do you think people judge you for being an escort? Because that's the oldest profession. Girls been doing that forever.
I don't understand why they judge me for it, because I tell them I think that you dumb. And maybe that's why they don't like me, because I think that you dumb. That you sit around here and you let somebody slay you, do all of these nasty things to you, and at the end of the day, you get nothing but a goodbye, see you later, I'm going to call you later. No, man, that's correct. That's ludicrous to me. When the same thing that you just did, I can make hundreds of dollars for, sometimes thousands. You're crazy.
Wow.
There's no reason why you should just be getting a meal.
So you just fearless all the way around. Have you had any like crazy like stories as it pertains to being an escort? Like, have you had a crazy client or thing that you almost had to whoop somebody's ass? Or
I had a stalker at one point in time, and what? Yes, Cassie girl.
She want to come in here, baby.
So there was this guy that was like kind of stalking me. He would always call me every time I would go to Charlotte and work. He would always come see me, like always hit me up trying to come see me, and I would always hear his voice, and instantly, know it's him. And one time he got me, and when he walked in the door, I looked at him. I said, "What do you want?" He said, "Man, come on." I said, "What a money." He was like, "Man, I got da-da-da-da." And he called himself trying to push his way in the door. And in that moment, I said, "Bitch, I'm finna have to kill him." So I literally took him, tossed his ass, and I reached down and I said, "Ch-ch. Now you got 2.5 motherfucking seconds to get up out of here. I'm finna blow your motherfucking head off."
Girl, you licensed to carry. Wait a minute.
And he left. And I've never, but another thing, I'm a very, very spiritual person. I have a heavy spirit of discernment. And I think that through all things, and people would judge and say, "Oh, well, God, don't put God in there." But God has protected me in a lot of crazy situations. Even in my escorting and stuff like that, from me being in cities and hotels, and something just happened with that hotel and they don't let me book a room. Or there was this hotel I always worked in, Columbia, South Carolina, and that particular day I got in and the people knew me. She said, "I could put you in first building, top floor. And I'm like, "Girl, I don't want to be sitting right there. It's a camera sitting right here. And I'm the first, and I'm right above the office." And I'm like, "Well, girl, I don't know about this, because this sitting right here, these people going to be in my business," even though I think they know what's up. But sometimes when you're a respectful girl, you carry, like, you don't carry sometimes the full law behind it. I think that they be like, "Okay, well, she don't bother us, we don't bother her."
Right.
It just so happened that same night in the building that I normally stay in, there was a bust. The police busted them, and it was a sting that night, and all of the girls that was working in that building were arrested.
God had, baby, that one, listen, he'll
Charlotte,
watch over us in everything we do.
let me tell you something. I worked in Charlotte, and it was just so happened it was a hotel I was working in, and this guy called me, and when he called me, um, he was very, very like weird, and I just started getting butterflies in my stomach, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna send him an address. I don't want to see him. Like something about this is off. And that very night, a girl was killed in Charlotte
Wow.
and
Wow.
robbed. So like, I just pray, and I just thank God for a lot of different things. And sometimes it be times when you're sitting here praying, but like, oh Lord, I gotta make this final payment for this gown. God, I need $561, and next thing you know, my phone ringing, and hey baby, I want to come see you. I got $600 for you. Oh, baby, let me send you the address. You on the way. So like, I'm just grateful for all things in life because I think I just receive because I give.
And another way you give is through your food, which looks so good when I see you cooking. You never invited me over to have dinner or anything. That's okay. We'll talk about that. But what did your love for cooking come from? Who taught you that?
So food was my first love. My mom used to get mad at me, and I used to get my ass whooped because she would come home and I done took the pack of chicken and put seasoning on it and caught myself putting it in the oven. I had like this little chest, like a wooden chest where you open the doors and it had the two shelves in it. And I would put the meat in there top, but I'm cooking it. So like I've always loved food. My grandmother, so food is like part of my love language. Like I love food. So I think that's why people enjoy my food, because it's not just about cooking. I really enjoy food. Like when I'm going through stuff, even after university and I'm in my feelings, I come in here and bake sweet potato pies and pound cakes, and I made turkey wing, collard greens, dressing, and all of these different things because I'm trying to
That's a
feed my soul,
Thanksgiving
baby.
meal.
Huh?
That's a Thanksgiving meal.
I mean, it's what I needed to feel good.
And now you're like the food girl at Duval, right?
Yes.
And what you call it? Is it Cassadine Kitchen? What is it?
Yeah, it's called Cassadine Kitchen.
Okay. And you also, speaking of Duval, and I ain't gonna hold you too much longer. You and Rick formed a beautiful relationship. He absolutely adores you, from what I can tell, how he interacts with you. How did that relationship fester?
So, Rick Finn. Before I went to Duval, Rick would always see me. He said, "You gonna be my queen." I used to be like, "Rick, I want to be Duval. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming." Um, TANISHA was the first person to introduce me to Duval. I went with her to Cheyenne Give Up. And she was like, "You need to do this pageant." And I'm like, "Girl, I'm gonna come do this pageant. Like, I'm gonna do this pageant." I was like, "Okay, cool." So I sat out and I studied, and most of the years I was supposed to go, something would happen, or like Diamond was gonna do it one year, and this happened, and a hurricane, and all these different things, and then eventually I said, "Bitch, I'm going to Duval." So I said, "Rick, I'm coming." He said, "Child, I don't want to hear that. Whatever." And I went to the Miss that year, tipped around, watched the pageant, saw the people. And me and Rick had always had an amazing relationship. He would always, so into me. "You're amazing. You're great. One day they're going to see you. One day they're going to let you in. One day those doors are going to open." And he would always tell me that when you get in here, they're going to start to respect you. And I didn't understand what he was saying at that time. And then I prepared my son Jeremy. We were in this motherfucker and we had got ready.
Shout out to
And
you.
we were stoning. We done made 3 different gowns, 5 presentations, 3 sportswears, and all of this stuff. And then finally was like, "Oh no, we doing this and doing that." And we got ready. Went to Duval and I won. And in that moment, even the embrace that I embraced and the tears we both shed because I won, was a lot for me, and our relationship grew from there. Like talking on the phone, I just came back from Jacksonville where I went to go see him and take him flowers and a card, and went to go see his new house and all of that stuff. And he has now become, a father to me, and it just grew. It just was one of those authentic things. I think, like TANISHA, like where he loved me for me and not what I had, what I could offer, but he saw me. He saw things in myself that I didn't see. And he still continues to see things that I don't see when he calls and he says certain things and he instills these things, and he's very honest. He's very brutal. He don't sugarcoat shit when he talking to you. He gonna
And I
tell you
love
exactly.
people like that. I love people like that.
Because he told me about my gown for University. He was like, "You a fat girl? Why you got a cut out of your motherfucking stomach?" I was like, "Oh my god!" Like he is very,
But you remember I told you that too. I said, "You sure you want your stomach out?"
right. But I was like, "Yeah, I fucking do, bitch. I'm putting my stuff on." But he is very that, and we have grown to like. I absolutely like love,
Yeah.
love, and adore him. And
I could tell it's genuine too.
And yeah, like I told him, he's stuck with me. And I think that everyone deserves an opportunity to experience him, Marissa, and the Duval dynasty as a whole, because
I
once you
love
become
the
that,
Duval dynasty.
it is truly a family. And they showed me they were a family, and they pushed me to do something I was always afraid of doing. People don't know, as much as I cook in here, I was so afraid to cook for a pageant or to sell food because I'm always afraid of failure. I'm my biggest worst enemy when it comes to that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And my give up, because of the hurricane happened, the girl that was supposed to cook did not have power. And he said, "Well, Danejah, you cooking for the pageant. The food you was cooking for registration," because I had done bought all of this food because I'm cooking for registration. I'm cooking for the contestants and all this stuff, like made this whole spread. I ended up taking that food and adding another meat to it and something else, and was able to sell food at the pageant because I was going all out for registration. He was like, "You're going to do this." I was like, "Rick, I'm so scared. Oh my God, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. These people ain't going to like me. They don't like me. They don't fuck with me. They're not going to buy my food." And I did it. And them people bought that food, and they've been buying it since. They've been begging for it since.
You've been getting rave reviews. Rave reviews.
And it's sold out every time I've cooked. And now, other places are opening and asking. I, had did Feather Bed and Orlando, Tampa. Something else is in the works right now as well. I'm just excited about, where Cassadine's kitchen will go. I'm excited about where Cassadine's closet has
I was
went.
just going to talk about Cassadine's closet. You also is the mastermind behind a lot of stoned and embellished garments that we see on stage too. How does one get in touch with you about? Do you do this service for anybody, or
yes,
you have your select clients?
I'm not just limited to. I will do work with anyone as long as your money is right and you are respectful. I believe that everyone deserves to have the opportunity. A lot of people enjoy what I do, and because you enjoy what I do, I'm able to do that for you. You come to me and you don't have an idea, we'll talk about it. We'll come up with ideas, concepts. I love playing with colors and stuff like that. If you come to me and you just let me do what I want to do, we're going to make magic. I still do amazing. And when you come to me and say, "Hey, I want XYZ," because I'm a professional, but most people just come and say, "Hey,
I heard that your
trust you."
turnaround time is good as well, because a lot of people don't have people garments ready. A lot of girls was going through that. Girls was going down to Texas knocking on doors and stuff, and bitches they need not even to have their garment. They didn't have lights. So your turnaround is very, like they say,
Like
it's
when
on time.
Naomi and Exotic were rulers, they dropped off stuff on Wednesday and had it back by Friday, and I done stoned both of their
Who
full
taught you how to
garments.
stone that fast?
I just started doing it.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy doing it for myself and watching Cassadine pick the stones up and blow them and stick them down.
What the fuck was she blowing them for?
Till this day, I catch myself doing it every once in a while, like, and just laughing. But I don't know what she was blowing it for. But I just that's like my piece, like stoning. Like I turn on my gospel music, and baby, I turn on all my little lights in my little workspace, and I just pick them up and put them down. And next thing you know, I'm finished. It's just therapeutic for me, so I enjoy it, and I'm gonna do it until they wear me out and make me not want to do it no more. Because when it become not fun, I don't enjoy it no more, then I think it'll be different. I still enjoy it now because it's still therapeutic. Right. That's why I'm not one of those people that's going to take 5,000 people. I'm not taking 6 people for one pageant because I want everyone to get their full experience, their time. And although I tell you 4 to 6 weeks, you might have it in a week, but sometimes you just have to be prepared for people in their budget. So sometimes they need that 4 to 6 weeks. Sometimes they need the next day services.
And they say they winning in your stuff too, because North American Prince said he won a presentation in your design.
Eric Rainbow won presentation this year. Yeah. I did Eric's presentation and sportswear.
Nice.
Wow.
And I did Eric presentation in one night. He dropped it off, and I sent him a video of it.
Dominique, if you ever decide to do something, we got somebody who could do it.
7:45 the next morning, I was sending him a video with the front and the back done.
Wow, that's amazing. Danejah, you're incredible. I love you. If I never told you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I see you. I think the community sees you. You stand tall in spaces, not just height, but your tenacity. Your ability to get knocked down and go back again, your ability to face adversities right in front of people's faces and stuff, and your hunger. It's evident that you're going to be one of those queens that we will be talking about for years to come. Thank you so much for sitting down with me and Dominique. We love talking to people.
I hope that this opened the eyes of some people to understand that the resting bitch face is not because I'm mean or because I don't like people. It's more of a protection for me.
Yes. But and you can stop resting your face, because as we noticed, as you talked about different things that was happening to your life, you already got the protection, right? Yeah. So you don't even need the resting bitch face no more. Now that face ain't got to be resting no more.
Well,
now
I don't really do it like that no more. I come in the room to speak and talk. Hey, what's the tea? You saw how me and Anivia interacted backstage.
Oh, you and Anivia had me laughing so hard.
I don't know what's wrong with a nigga.
You would call her a nigga. She would call you the nigga. That shit was so funny back then.
Oh my goodness.
I enjoyed y'all so much. But show people your light. Let your light always shine. And sometimes we don't always feel like smiling. And sometimes we ain't always in a place where we want to smile. But sometimes you don't know what a smile will do to people. So you are accepted. You are loved. You are revered. So I want you to walk in that. As you get through this journey now, you've been through the hard part. The part with them throwing you, tossing you from side to side, you've been through the hard part. Now they know who you are. But once you begin to be that, you have to maintain that level of who you are. You can't go below that, because they won't accept that from you. I always talk about when I was talking to Marissa one time, I said, girl, you can do Black America out your closet. She said, oh, they won't accept that from me. They won't accept that from me. So once you create this thing for yourself, you have to go even that much harder. That's why a lot of people don't know I don't do everybody's makeup, because I feel pressure when I do makeup, because it's already, bitch, Trent doing you, bitch, you. So it becomes that, and I have to really turn
what you was feeling or what you was going through.
No, I enjoyed it. You enjoyed it, but let your light shine. Let them know who you are now. Let them see this other side of you, because let me tell you something. There's a place out there for you. There's so many crowns that's going to go in your head, but what you decide to do with it is up to you. This is for your legacy, And in closing, Stacey would like to know what impact you want to have on others, and and what do you want your legacy to be? And we'll close out with that.
Oh, um, move, Cassie. The impact I want to have on others is just to be the person that they needed me to be for them, because everyone needs a different version of me.
Hmm.
Everyone doesn't get the same version of me, and I just enjoy being who I need to be for people in that moment, in
Okay.
whatever capacity that is. I just want to be known and remembered for how I made you feel, and to know that I was one
Mm.
of those people that came through for you when you needed it, or I was there, um, and just be who someone was to me that finally allowed me to understand what that felt like.
Mm.
So that has been the goal, to be that person and be someone that is there in whatever capacity that is, and just be remembered and known for being kind, um, and being there, and standing in the gap for people. Um, I've always been told I was a midwife, and I'm okay with that.
Come on, midwife.
Um,
Okay.
and if you understand and know what that is, then you know what it is. So it needs no explanation. So
Christopher
I'm okay
Higgins,
with
how you doing? Love me some Christopher Higgins.
I'm
Yeah,
okay with allowing myself to help you birth whatever it is that you need birth.
I love that. I love that. And we looking for great things for you. We're looking for you to go and get that Black America crown. If that's your baby, that's what you've been wanting. That's what you've been setting yourself your goal out for all these years. Sometimes we get sidetracked and think we need to go somewhere else. But I'm happy that you're returning. Black America is one of my favorite systems. I've really been asking Benny for the last 10 years to make me honorary, but he won't do it.
Oh wow.
He
I'm
won't
I'm
do it.
really excited to be returning as well. Um I've sat out for long enough.
How long has it been since you
The last time I went was when Stanisha won.
what was that, like
And
21
I've
or
been three.
22?
It was Stanisha crowned, Valencia crowned. Dore?
Hooray.
Yeah, so what, 2, 3 years?
Yeah, about 3 years. Yeah, it's time to go back. It's
Yeah.
time to go back. And I love that pageant doesn't make you bitter. It makes you want to go stronger. It makes you better. So we're looking for great things for you. Thank you so much again for sitting down with us. I really, really appreciate it. I even got a different side of you right now, and I'm sure other people have. There's a lot of people in the comments saying it's a great interview and they needed to hear that, and it's so relatable. So thank you for giving yourself for these couple of hours to
You
talk
all
to
are
us.
welcome. I'm about to go and enjoy my last few minutes of being 34. I turned
Oh, you about to be your
35.
birthday?
Yes, I turned 34. Me and
Oh,
Monica got the same birthday, even though she don't like me. I don't know for what reason.
She
happy
like you, girl. Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy
Y'all got the same
birthday.
birthday.
Yes, we do, November 21st. So I
Wow.
turned 35. Oh my God.
Oh my God, girl. You about to be out these 30s in a minute. Well, happy birthday.
Right. That's
And I hope you turn up.
crazy.
What you doing for your birthday? Are you in Atlanta?
I am in Atlanta. So I actually was going message you, but I know you'd be so busy. But I'm going to Andretti's tomorrow
Okay.
night,
Okay.
tomorrow evening to the Adult Arcade. And then I'm going to do Beat the Bomb in some place I found. It looks really, really fun,
Okay.
on Saturday.
Okay. Hit me about
I don't like
Andretti.
to
I ain't
do
been beating no bomb, but hit me about Andretti.
Beat the Bomb is really fun. You got to beat, it's like escape rooms. You got to beat the missions. And if you don't beat
I
it,
got
then
something I beat every night.
Oh God.
well, that's not what. Now, what?
Oh God.
Y'all send us some happy birthday love and some hearts and stuff. Thank you so much, girl. Let me get off of here. This
Okay,
has
so
been
I will.
great.
I'll message you what I need to message you for tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Andretti's and Marietta.
But send it to me so I can have. I'm a visual person. I have to see it.
Okay, I sent to you. And you know what? I went to go look for your number and realized that I don't still have your number anymore. So I need you to inbox me your number. My
Okay.
number is still the same. I don't know if you still got it,
Okay. Okay. All right. Well,
but all
thank
right.
you
I
so much.
really, really, really enjoyed y'all, and I hope I gave y'all what y'all was looking
Oh,
for.
baby, you gave us
Yeah, oh
that and
my
more.
God.
Not
That
just
is so
us. You
much
gave it to the
more. Oh my
people.
God.
You
It
gave it
was
to the people.
amazing. So
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Uh, Amazing. Thank you so much.
All righty. Well, I'm finna go and you know do the things that I need to do.
Oh, you about to Nothing. I ain't gonna say that.
Stay out of that woman's business. Stay out
You
of that
know,
lady's
just a little
business.
birthday recording and stuff like that. You
Yeah.
know,
Yes.
takes on 35. Woohoo!
35. That's a blessing. Do you know so many people I grew up with didn't make it to the 30s? You know, so that is it's amazing in itself. I
Yeah,
love getting older.
I'm grateful because at one point in time, I did not think that I would live this long.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to be here and still not looking like anything that I've been through in life.
Ha yeah. Talk about it. I know that's right, Trayson. Trayson, check your message. Listen, I know that's right. God is good and He love us. He love us so much. And 35 is a big deal. It's a big deal. I like I said, I enjoy aging. When it dyed my beard early, I had a full beard all the way up there, but I dyed. It was so black, it looked like I took a magic marker and just ran across my face. So
Once you dye it, you gotta wash it after that like a few times and then let it kind of.
I call myself girl, but it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. But anyway, good night, y'all. Thank y'all so much for
Good
tuning in
night,
to
you all.
Beyond the Filter.
Good
We love y'all.
night.
We love y'all for free. Um, Another great interview for the books. Dominique, I got a YouTube page for us where I upload a couple of videos, and I just haven't been promoting and telling the people about it because people want to go back and see the interviews because after so long, it goes away, right? But we got to start promoting
Yeah,
our
because
page.
well, honey, you ain't told me about no Facebook page.
I mean a YouTube page.
You know, you haven't told me about no YouTube page.
I know, but I did it one night, and it was just my old page that I already had followers on. So I said, let me just change it to Beyond the Filter. But we'll talk about it so we can
Didn't know
start.
anybody. Okay.
I know. I listen. We need somebody in the trenches that's handling the business and shit. But good night, y'all. Good night. You see Junior, he subscribed to it, but I'm gonna make a post and I want you to repost or you make a post too, so we can have them start going back and watching some of the older interviews because these interviews are good. I go back and watch them to see what we were talking about and see, stuff like that. Yeah, I do. But thank you,
Okay.
Dominique, for freeing up your night. I know you tired from spending $200,000 that you didn't send me any
Listen, it's not
That's
mine to
okay.
give away.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We about to get out of here.
Thank
Dominique,
you
love you.
guys.
I don't know.
Love you too.
We should do it next week because it's Thanksgiving. Everybody gonna be eating a turkey, right?
People typically hanging out with them because after they do the dinners, they're playing cards and all of that kind of stuff. But we got glam coming up.
Yeah, we got
So
Glam coming up. Shout out to Glam.
I'm excited about her coming on.
You
But
know
it's
what I
gonna
mean?
it's gonna be a good time.
It's gonna be a great time. All right, babe. I'm gonna let you get some rest tonight because I know you're tired.
All
I'm
right.
tired. I love
Yeah,
you.
I am
I love
too.
y'all. We
I
love
love
y'all for
you.
watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all of your support. Punk News Network. All of y'all. Thank y'all for coming over here talking to us and listening to us. We'll see y'all Thursday after next. Okay.
All right.
Goodbye, darling.
Good night,
Goodbye.
everybody. Bye bye.